Chapter 189. Did he scare his opponent away because he was ugly? Lu Qin had never thought that he could be so strong. Speaking of which, as his level increased, Lu Qin felt more and more that the secret of Zhoutian was like a huge iceberg that had revealed a small corner. The woman just now was chosen as his opponent, so she should not be weak. Her equipment was also impressive. He did not know where she came from, but Lu Qin had heard that it was some heavenly wormhole. Foreign service? Lu Qin didn't know either. At this moment, a dungeon door that looked like a black hole appeared on the altar. Lu Qin thought for a moment and decided to go in and take a look. Damn, this is a Kun, it's so fucking huge. Crown Prince was extremely excited. He was sitting on the back of the divine Kun beast. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that on Blue Leviathan's back, even if all 2,000 members of the royal family were to be placed on it, it would still feel spacious. This is the strength of a player above level 40, with such a ridiculous mount. On the side, exquisite Zixin had her hands behind her back. The wind lifted her purple dress, outlining her faint curves. She was majestic and sexy. Hey, beauty, where are you going to take me to level up? I'm not afraid of being tired, I just want to level up quickly. I must surpass Nameless, I want to ride on him for the rest of my life. Watch your tone, the woman said coldly. Tone? You don't really think that you're my master, do you? I spent 20 million, I'm your client. Client? Exquisite Zixin turned around and smiled. Sorry, I have as many clients like you as I want. If you still don't know your place, get lost now. Crown Prince was used to being arrogant, especially when it came to women. He did not think before speaking, but after seeing exquisite Zixin, he could clearly feel that this woman was not ordinary. Remember, your 20 million is only to acknowledge me as your master. I never said that I won't expel you from my sect. Crown Prince sucked in a breath of cold air. She was right. The Crown Prince finally had some brains. Only now did he realize how powerful this woman was. I'm sorry, Master. I lost my composure. I was too impatient. You don't know this, but it was Nameless who stole my divine beast. He's now over level 30. I can't accept it. Exquisite Purple Heart harumphed coldly and turned to look ahead. Isn't it just level 30? Is it that high? Exquisite Purple Heart harumphed. The Crown Prince gritted his teeth and said, I definitely can't compare with Master, but I can't beat him. You want to kill him now? Yes. I wish I could skin him alive and pull out his tendons. Exquisite Zixin nodded and said, you and I can be considered master and disciple. If you can't wait, I can help you kill him. What? Master, help me kill him. That's great. Exquisite Zixin smiled. 500,000, 500,000 for killing a person. This was a game. However, the Crown Prince did not hesitate at all. Nameless lives are worth this price. Alright, I'll transfer the money immediately. No rush. We'll talk about it when we meet. I'll help you level up first. If his master was willing to help him, it would be a great help to him. Now, the Crown Prince was even more satisfied with his master. The Crown Prince tried to ask, Master, how did you reach such a high level? You're level 42 in 50 days. That's unbelievable. Exquisite Zixin did not get angry. Instead, she looked at the Crown Prince meaningfully. What kind of players do you think are the strongest? The professional players from the top teams. They have a lot of experience, and their awareness and skills are top-notch. Experience? What experience? Experience in games. Then do you think Zhoutian is a normal game? The Crown Prince was stunned. Zhoutian was obviously not a normal game. It was very different from traditional games. The awareness and skills of professional players were indeed very strong, but that was based on hand-eye coordination. In Jiutian, however, what was required was the coordination of the whole body. Based on his experience in previous games, although the routines could be applied to Jiutian to a certain extent, there was still a big difference between the two. Exquisite proceeded to speak, "Your levels are low, so it's not obvious yet. You'll notice the difference when your levels are higher. In Jiutian, there are two types of players who are really powerful. One is those who have extraordinary reflexes while the other is those who have extraordinary reflexes. The former's advantage is always present in Jiutian while the latter gets stronger as the game progresses. Meanwhile, the strongest players have both." The Crown Prince listened to Exquisite's explanation in shock. There's no lack of professional players with fast reflexes. They're still very powerful in a short period of time, but they're far from being the strongest players. Before Jiutian officially launched, they found a batch of players who were top-notch in both abilities to conduct a closed beta test. I was one of them. What? A closed beta test where the strongest players didn't delete their files? That's right. Tianqing didn't announce it to the public. According to the agreement, we're not allowed to participate in any of the players' activities before Tianqing gives us permission. That's why you guys never knew about our existence. Now that more and more experts have reached level 42, Tianqing gave us permission to interact with normal players considering the master-apprentice system. The Crown Prince was shocked. Oh my god. There's such a group of people. Exquisite smiled. What UUS Secret Realm and Blood Pool Secret Realm? We've already opened them. There's nothing special about them. Then, Master, do you have a divine beast? Exquisite immediately took out a baby divine beast from the monster pen. It was the baby fire Qilin. There were too many experts back then, so I only managed to get one. Fuck. The Crown Prince's eyes widened. His master had managed to snatch a divine beast from the hands of the strongest players. His master's ability was clearly something else. Exquisite scoffed. That Solipsistic and Nameless were just lucky that no one snatched it from them. He could tell that his master seemed to be hostile toward those two. It was no wonder. When she participated in the competition, those who fought with her were all the strongest players. Solipsistic and Nameless were just trying to pick up scraps. In the end, they managed to snatch more than her. Perhaps that was the reason why Linglong agreed to help the Crown Prince kill John Doe so easily. The Crown Prince narrowed his eyes. It seemed that with the appearance of this group of strongest players, the Jiutian would once again welcome a bloodbath. However, there were two pieces of good news. One was that Solipsistic and Nameless would no longer be in the limelight. They would only be reduced to mediocrity. Moreover, they might even drop a divine beast. The other point was that he, the Crown Prince of Jiutian, had grasped this opportunity tightly. He would definitely stand out. Master, let's go and level up. I can't wait. Exquisite smiled. We've reached the level 40 map. Let's go. In 3 days, I'll send you to level 30. Chapter 190. The Huaxia server suddenly released a video of a group of experts. These people's levels were frighteningly high. They were all gods above level 42. The official forums were in a mess. Tianqing finally made an explanation on the front page. Tianqing acknowledged the existence of this group of players. These players had spent a lot of time and effort to help the company complete the beta test. They had contributed greatly to the perfection of the Jiutian game. In addition, Tianqing emphasized that these players would not affect the training of normal players. Since the level cap of the first celestial domain was 50, as long as they reached level 50 before the second celestial domain opened, the gap would disappear. As for the injustice that the players are complaining about, don't worry. We have also imposed many restrictions on this group of players. First of all, the closed beta players will be scattered across the servers. Before the national servers merge, they will not be able to form a team. Secondly, the closed beta players are not allowed to form teams, sell equipment, attack normal players, or enter maps below level 30. Of the 9 heavens, only the first heaven has been opened. The level gap that everyone is seeing now will be negligible in the future. It will not affect the balance of the game. Actually, anyone who had played the game before knew that the game had a closed beta period. Closed beta without deleting files was nothing new. For example, in some games, only the closed beta players could get limited skins. Others could only look at them with envy. It was a reward for the players who participated in the closed beta. They could only blame themselves for not being able to get a place in the closed beta. Now that Jotian had imposed many restrictions on the closed beta players, many players felt that the game was unfair. Following the appearance of this group of super players, a group of core members of the guilds were taken away by the experts. When the players saw the various mounts, they went crazy. I saw a god in our server today. He was flying on his sword. He was really flying on his sword. We have a gourd coming over to recruit disciples. That gourd was dozens of meters long. It was golden on the outside and had dragons and phoenixes carved on it. It was so cool. He's here to collect some mounts. I took a picture of him coming over on Bizet. Fuck, I'm dying of jealousy. This group of experts did not show any strength, but just looking at their mounts was enough to make people admire them. Speaking of which, I was already amazed when I saw Nameless mount in the past. Now that I look at it, Nameless mount doesn't seem all that impressive. I can't believe he had the nerve to show off his mount. Nameless, even Mad God has to step aside. Don't be jealous. Bro, Nameless isn't a closed beta player. It's already amazing that he can get a mount. This is nothing. I saw a Kuan today. A green Kuan, do you know how big it is? Even the main city of the Immortal Mountain has been enveloped. Nameless Mad God had fallen out of the top 10 of the official player popularity rankings. Every one of the top 10 players had a divine beast mount that could make one's blood boil. Kuan, Peng, Bizet, Paper Fan, Copper Cauldron, Gourd, Giant Sword, every single one of them made one's blood boil. Lu Chen was currently challenging the Ancient Battlefield Instance Dungeon. The Ancient Battlefield Dungeon was very different from other dungeons. This dungeon used a countdown. The total time was 1.5 hours. Lu Chen did not know what this meant for the time being. The monsters in the dungeon were all level 40 elites. There were many of them, but they were all soul-type monsters. The EXP they gave was considerable. They would also drop pure spiritual energy, but they would not drop equipment. Where did you get that woman's purple equipment? Lu Chen was still thinking about the woman summoned from the altar. It was worth mentioning that Lu Chen's farming method had changed. He was too lazy to pull monsters and use Great Ravager to harvest them. Instead, he directly used Heavenly Flame Pillar. Heavenly Flame Pillars constantly appeared around him. He could both pull and kill monsters. Killed Ancient War Soul, level 40 elite. Captured 40,000 spiritual energy. Obtained stage 5 talent fragment. Obtained 2 5-star quality. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. Killed Ancient War Soul, level 40 elite. Captured 40,000 spiritual energy. Obtained 2 stage 5 talent fragment. Obtained 2 5-star quality. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. This treasure is amazing. I can get EXP just by walking around. Lu Chen was leveling up too easily now. He had earned more than 1,000,000 EXP just by walking around. The EXP here is not as high as in Fiend's City, but there are more monsters. Moreover, the pure spiritual energy is hidden here. Overall, this place is more suitable for leveling up. As long as monsters rushed over, they would be killed by the Heavenly Flame Pillar before they could reach him. Lu Chen did not even have the chance to attack. Of course, the treasure itself was not that strong. The key was the effect of Tiger Roar. Although Lu Chen was walking around, his leveling speed was not slow at all. It was no different from pulling monsters and killing monsters together. Not long after, Lu Chen arrived at the boss room. A huge humanoid creature stood in the room. It was more than 10 meters tall. It held a large sword and wore armor. Ancient War General, level 42 Soul-type boss. It's okay if you don't drop any equipment. Please drop an ancient material. Lu Chen did not know how strong this guy was. After thinking about it, he decided not to take the risk. Xiao Min, use invisibility. Lu Chen entered invisibility. Then, Lu Chen walked to the boss side. A ball of light suddenly appeared under the boss' feet. A second later, a heavenly flame pillar directly hit the boss. 10842108842. Damn, 1,600,000 HP. This boss is so strong. Lu Chen said in surprise. It also has more than 1,000 spiritual defense. Damn, the spiritual defense is too scary. It seems that the ancient battlefield dungeon should be very difficult. The boss was very depressed. It did not see any enemies. Why was it losing HP? It looked back and forth but did not see anyone. However, heavenly flame pillars kept appearing under its feet. It was losing more than 10,000 HP. Its 1,600,000 HP could not bear such a loss. Lu Chen was actually standing beside the boss. However, he was invisible. The treasure was indeed a treasure. When it attacked on its own, Lu Chen did not need to reveal himself. He, this fucker. Lu Chen said with a sinister smile. I can settle it with the treasure. Not long after, the boss was burned to death by the heavenly flame pillar. Killed Ancient War General, level 42 Ancient Boss. Obtained 840,000 heaven and earth spiritual energy. Obtained 2 tier, 7 talent fragments. Obtained 2 tier, 7 quality points. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. Ding, obtained primordial heart *1, oh. The primordial heart dropped. Lu Chen said excitedly. With a ding, it meant that it was a normal drop. It was very likely that it was a guaranteed drop from the ancient boss. Haha, this is great. I finally found the source of the primordial material. After defeating the boss, Lu Chen still had 1 hour and 04 minutes left in the dungeon. Why is there no exit? Lu Chen looked around. There was indeed no way out of the dungeon. Therefore, he walked towards the entrance. Perhaps the entrance was the exit. Just as he was about to leave, Lu Chen suddenly heard a heavenly flame pillar behind him. He turned around curiously. When he turned around, Lu Chen was shocked. The dungeon had spawned another ancient war general. That guy was being bombarded by the heavenly flame pillar with a confused expression. Damn, so that's how it is. This dungeon will keep spawning bosses. Lu Chen finally understood the function of the countdown timer. It was the remaining time in the dungeon. In other words, he still had more than an hour to kill the ancient war general. Spirit-type monsters were immune to physical attacks. The damage of Great Ravager's sweep was obviously lower than the heavenly flame pillar. Since that was the case, Lu Chen only needed to stand there and wait for the boss to die. With 20,000 plus damage in 3 seconds, even if the boss had 1,600,000 HP, Lu Chen could still kill one in 4 minutes. Not long after. Killed Ancient War General, level 42 Ancient Boss. Obtained 840,000 heaven and earth spiritual energy. Obtained 2 tier, 7 talent fragments. Obtained 2 tier, 7 quality points. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. Ding, obtained primordial heart *1, what the heck, that works too. Lu Chen himself was stunned. Chapter 191. Half an hour later. Killed Ancient War General, level 42 Ancient Boss. Obtained 840,000 heaven and earth spiritual energy. Obtained 2 rank 7 talent fragments. Obtained 2 7-star quality points. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. Ding. Obtained ancient heart *1, so boring. Lu Chen laid on the ground. He no longer felt anything when he saw the 2 lines of words. He did not have to do anything other than wait for the reward. It was too boring. Lu Chen swallowed a few mixed energy gathering pills to ensure that his pure spiritual energy was full. He then said to Xiao Min, just make me invisible. I'll go to the official website. Okay, boss. Speaking of which, no one knew that he had a purple spirit pet yet. However, with Xiao Min around, Lu Chen was indeed much more convenient. After giving instructions to Xiao Min, Lu Chen hung up and went to the official website to read the news. Damn, there are so many level 40+ experts. Lu Chen was a little surprised. He looked at Skytravel's announcement and roughly understood what was going on. Oh, I knew it. So the ones I saw were closed beta players. Lu Chen did not think much of it. On the official website, there were all kinds of news. Jiutian Online had exceeded 2.6 billion. The various governments met with Skytravel's staff. There were all kinds of speeches or interesting things about the players. There was nothing interesting. The most lively were still the live streams and forums. The live streams were currently broadcasting the various scenes after the Bloodborne invasion in the Huaxia server. Everyone was cheering for the Bloodborne invasion. They were looking forward to the double reward that was coming. There was nothing interesting to see. When Lu Chen opened the forums, a pinned post finally caught his attention. Nameless scoundrel. Do you dare to fight? What's this? Lu Chen entered. That's right. Nameless scoundrel. I'm talking about Nameless bro. I'm the crown prince of the royal family. This is the guy who stole my 2 divine beasts. I, the crown prince of the royal family, would like to officially challenge Nameless to a wild duel. The wager is 10 million or a divine beast cub. Nameless, aren't you very arrogant? Aren't you the strongest player? Let me ask you, do you dare to accept my challenge? I spent money to pin the post at the top for 7 days, it's impossible for you to not see it. If you don't dare to accept the challenge, it means that you're a coward, a coward. Next time you see me, kneel down and kowtow 3 times. A group of people replied to the post. What the hell? Nameless challenge? Is the crown prince crazy? The wager is a divine beast cub. Does the crown prince have a divine beast cub? Will Nameless accept the challenge? Lu Chen frowned slightly. He still remembered the crown prince of the imperial family. He was that kid with excellent acting skills. Challenge me. In Lu Chen's impression, although the crown prince was quite sinister, he shouldn't be so brainless. Don't tell me he found master. Lu Chen thought for a moment. This guy didn't mention it in the post, but with his sinister personality, he couldn't rule out this possibility. He challenged in his own name, but in the end, he let his master fight. It seemed reasonable for his master to fight for his disciple. For things like a duel, many people didn't care about the process, only the result. However, a bet of 20 million seemed a bit interesting. Lu Chen wasn't short of money now, but who would complain about having more money? Most importantly, looking at the crown prince's arrogant post, if Nameless didn't agree, he would probably cause trouble for him all day long. Lu Chen couldn't reply directly, so he decided to let Li Muhua help him reply. Nameless boss, you actually took the initiative to call me, what's the matter? Help me reply to the post. The one about the crown prince who challenged you. Lu Chen smiled slightly. Li Muhua's brain was still not bad. Yes, just say that I accept the challenge, and I don't want money for the wager. If I send out a divine beast, the other party must also send out a divine beast. I'll set the time, tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. They can choose the place. Lu Chen, don't you think you agreed a bit too hastily? Have you seen the news on the official website? There are a lot of high-level players now. I've seen it. You still accepted the challenge after seeing it. That crown prince must have something to rely on. I'm guessing that an expert has taken him in as a disciple. When the time comes, he will provoke you with a few words and then ask his master to fight. What will you do? Wow, so that's how insidious. Help me reply to the post, just do as I said just now. Li Muhua broke down. This guy didn't even take his words seriously. Big brother, did you not understand what I said? You can only take in disciples when you're at level 42. Can you beat a level 42 person when you're at level 30? Then you want me to be a coward? No, Aya. This is indeed tricky, that guy is really troublesome. That's right, you don't want me to be a coward, and you don't want me to fight. Why don't you fight for me? No, I can't do it. Lu Chen, are you confident? Lu Chen smiled slightly, wanting to tease Li Muhua. No, I'm not. Oh right, don't you have a divine beast? If I lose, I'll give it to him as compensation. Fuck. This. Sigh, alright, my Xiao Mao, it's going to leave daddy, my Xiao Mao, Mao. Li Muhua was actually willing to return the divine beast to Lu Chen. This guy was really honest. Ha, I'm just teasing you. Look at how reluctant you are, it's as if I'm taking your life. Don't worry, it's yours since I'm giving it to you. I'll get my own divine beast. Lu Chen smiled. I think there are many people who want my divine beast. Coincidentally, I also want to tell those so-called closed beta players that they better not mess with me. You're so confident. Alright, I got it. Under Crown Prince's post, Iron and Blood Guard replied in red. Hello, everyone. I'm Iron Blood Guard, and I'm also Nameless Friend. He gave me one of the 4 divine beasts that he gave to the server. This should be enough to prove our relationship. Nameless doesn't want to expose his ID, so he asked me to speak on his behalf. He has agreed to accept Crown Prince's challenge, but he has 2 conditions. First, he will send out a divine beast, but Crown Prince must also send out a divine beast. Don't tell me you don't have one. Nameless knows that you want your master to fight, so he should have one. If he doesn't, then don't blame Nameless for not accepting the challenge. Second, Nameless set the time. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., you can choose the location. The above is Nameless' reply. I can vouch for it with my identity as the Iron Blood Guild Master. No matter how strong the Iron Blood Guild was, many people knew that this guild had a military background. With the Iron Blood Guild vouching for it, this matter couldn't be wrong. As soon as the post was posted, it caused a huge commotion. So Crown Prince is using his master as a weapon. Wait, if Nameless knows about it, why did he accept the challenge? He wants to fight with a closed beta player. Haven't closed beta players been playing for a few months already? If he can take in a disciple, he must be at least level 42. Nameless must be crazy. Level is a small matter. The key is the equipment. How can level 42 equipment compare to level 30 equipment? Tomorrow at 9 a.m., damn, I have to watch the live stream. Crown Prince also received the news. After reading Iron and Blood Guard's reply, he immediately showed it to Exquisite Purple Heart. Master, Nameless says it must be a divine beast. Bet on divine beasts. Exquisite Purple Heart narrowed her eyes. Yo, he knows I'm going to fight, but he still dares to accept the challenge. Looks like he wants to fight for my divine beast. Kid, you've got guts. I accept. Tomorrow at Jiutian, I'll make him the laughingstock of the entire server. Crown Prince was extremely excited. The opportunity he had been waiting for had finally arrived. Chapter 192. Lu Chen chose the time for the duel at 9 in the morning. There were still 12 hours to go. Lu Chen was about to reach level 34. He needed a total of 27 million experience points to reach level 35. One ancient war general would give 840,000 experience points. Killing one in 4 minutes meant that he needed to kill 33 of them. It would take more than 2 hours. Including restarting the ancient battlefield instance dungeon and killing small monsters, 3 hours would be enough. It would end at 11:30. He would sleep for 8.5 hours, eat breakfast, do some grocery shopping, and train his body. It would be just right. Lu Chen was not afraid to duel with his opponent now. However, he really wanted to equip his level 35 orange weapon. It would be good to try out this weapon. While Lu Chen was killing ancient war generals, Lu Yi ran into Lu Chen's room in a panic. Lu Yi knocked on Lu Chen's helmet and said anxiously, "Brother, you want to duel with Tai Chi? Brother, if he dares to challenge you to a duel, there must be someone behind him. There are many beta testers with high levels." "I know. It's okay." Lu Yi only found out about this when she received a call from Xiao Mei. She was worried about her brother and hurried over to find him. However, Lu Chen seemed very calm. This meant that he knew about the beta testers. With her brother's personality, he was not the kind of person who would accept a duel on a whim. Lu Yi was slightly relieved. "Then, brother, can you win?" The helmet blocked most of Lu Chen's face. Only the corner of his mouth could be seen. "Fatty, do you want a divine beast?" "Ah. What? Wait, who's Fatty?" "You're the Fatty." "Hee, if you want it, pray that your brother can win." Now that there were divine beasts in the game, he definitely had what others had and what others did not. Therefore, he would not use the divine beast he won in the end. Last time, Lu Yi was still in Dragon Ascension. If Lu Chen gave it to her, it might have become Dragon Ascensions. However, it was different now. Lu Yi was in wild waves. Lu Chen naturally wanted to give it to his sister. "Brother, I don't want it. You can keep it for yourself." "I have it." "Who else can I give it to, fool?" Lu Yi was stunned for a moment. The other party didn't seem to have said what kind of divine beast would appear. Why did her brother say that there was already one? "By the way, I plan to buy 2 gaming cabins in the next 2 days. Go to the official website and choose the one you like. Also, help me pick one." Lu Chen's words interrupted Lu Yi's thoughts. "Do you want to buy a cabin? It's very expensive. It costs hundreds of thousands." "It's okay. We're not short of money now. Go ahead and choose. It's not good for your spine to sit with a helmet on." Even if Lu Yi didn't know about Lu Chen's other identity, with Nameless Bro's ability to earn money, he could easily afford a gaming cabin that cost 700,000 to 800,000. "Oh, brother, I'm going to watch your duel tomorrow." Lu Chen had always doted on his sister, so such a small request was naturally nothing to him. "Okay, I'll take you there. Sleep early tonight." 1.5 hours of the ancient dungeon had ended. Lu Chen was teleported out. He was now level 34, had obtained 15 ancient hearts, and a pile of 7-star materials. My spiritual energy is already 112. I haven't specifically leveled up my spiritual energy, but it's leveled up quite quickly. Lu Chen looked at the surrounding piles of stones and randomly chose another one. Your reputation is enough to open the ancient altar. You can open the 4th altar. Requires 20 million reputation points. Do you want to open it? Damn, 20 million reputation points. Lu Chen exclaimed, that's not right. The player that appeared at the first altar was already wearing a full set of purple equipment. This altar might summon an even stronger player. If he's twice as strong as the previous player, he should have at least 2 or 3 pieces of orange equipment. That's going to be a little difficult. After seeing orange equipment, Lu Chen wasn't sure if he could easily defeat an orange equipment player. I'll fight this another time. I definitely can't sleep past midnight today. Lu Chen looked at a few more altars and found the second altar. This one required 10 million reputation points. This one has the same difficulty as the first altar. The first altar dropped ancient hearts. This one might drop ancient fragments. Let's give it a try. After spending 10 million reputation points, a white light appeared from the altar and summoned the player. When the white light faded, Lu Chen and the player in front of him looked at each other. Both of them were stunned. It was fate. Ah! Why is it this monster again? Is this the only monster at my level? The woman was about to cry. Don't come over, you ugly thing. Lu Chen shook his head. Of course, his head was independent of his body and could move alone. What the hell? Why am I always matched with this guy? Right, she seems to be very timid. If I can scare her away, I won't have to fight. Thinking of this, Lu Chen revealed a sinister smile. His huge body floated up slightly, and two jackalen arms stretched out weakly. The head on the side said in a half-dead tone, "Ah, I died so miserably." What the hell? Why is the monster talking? The woman was scared and shrank to the side. Don't come over. I'm warning you. Ah, my head was pierced by a wooden stick. Can you help me take a look? Lu Chen's head flew to the woman. The woman hugged herself into a ball and took a peek. She saw the two long wooden horns on the tiger's head. She also saw Lu Chen sticking out his tongue and rolling his eyes. Ah! No, I don't want to help you take a look. My body, that snake ate half of my body, it really hurts, the woman completely broke down. Don't come over, woo-woo, I want to go back, I don't want to fight anymore. A white light flashed and the woman fled. Lu Chen retracted his tongue and shook his head helplessly. Sigh, he relied on his ugliness to win another 10%. Speaking of which, this wasn't something to be happy about. No matter what, winning was a good thing. Moreover, it was an easy win. It seems that the effects will be better if I fuse with the zombies in the underground mine. Speaking of which, that beauty is really unlucky to have met me twice in a row. Lu Chen frowned. What she said just now seemed to be that only people of the same strength level would be matched together. That means that her strength should be about the same as mine. 2 altars worth 10 million reputation points should be matched with opponents of similar strength. But, where did that guy come from? Lu Chen couldn't figure out this question for the time being, but he didn't want to dwell on it. Anyway, as the player's level increased, he believed that more mysteries would be answered. Congratulations, you have defeated your opponent. 10 million reputation points are returned. You have obtained the qualification to enter the ancient battlefield once. The entrance to the instance dungeon appeared on the altar. Lu Chen entered the instance dungeon directly. Along the way, Lu Chen relied on the heavenly flame pillar to clear the wild monsters. The monster in the boss room was still the ancient war general. Lu Chen asked for invisibility and used the same trick again to farm the boss without any pressure. Killed ancient war general, level 42 ancient boss. Obtained 840,000 heaven and earth spiritual energy. Obtained 2 rank 7 talent fragments. Obtained 2 rank 7 quality points. Obtained 2 pure spiritual energy. Ding, obtained ancient fragment *1, haha, it really dropped a fragment. This is what I wanted. Let's farm. Chapter 193. After finishing this dungeon, Lu Chen's experience had increased by more than half. One more attempt and he would reach 35. For the third attempt, Lu Chen chose the second altar. After all, the fragment required more than the primordial heart. For the third attempt, it was the same woman again. When she saw Lu Chen, the woman was completely enraged. What the hell? Why is it still this monster? I'm telling you, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm going to kill you. Ugh, I'm already dead. Look, I don't even have a head. The woman took a deep breath. Her courage instantly crumbled when she saw Lu Chen's head. What shitty altar. Hey, you stinky monster, why are you always following me? You pick whatever I choose. I'm scared of you, okay? I'm going to fight the 20 million one. With a whoosh, the woman flew away. Lu Chen shook his head helplessly. They were matched together 3 times in a row. Fate was not shallow. Actually, he wanted to tell the beauty that he was going to rest after this attempt. In the end, the woman went to fight the 20 million one. He did not know what the result would be. Speaking of which, what was the standard of the altar's combat power? The woman said that she would fight the 20 million one, which meant that she had a chance of winning. It was just that it would be more difficult or troublesome. I really want to try the 20 million one. Who knows, the reward might be better. Forget it, it's getting late. I'll level up first. We'll talk about the duel later. The dungeon had been opened. Lu Chen walked into the dungeon and continued to level up. Lu Chen casually cleared the small monsters and killed the boss a few times before leveling up. I'm finally level 35. Lu Chen was busy with his own business as he killed the boss. He opened his backpack and took out the orange weapon. It was a long sword that was burning with flames. As the weapon was orange equipment, it had an orange glow, causing the flames to turn orange-red. Blazing sword, level 35 orange, unique. Perhaps the game would reset after the closed beta players tested it, resulting in 2 unique blazing swords. However, there were only 2 of them. Moreover, the number of closed beta players could not possibly be as many as the total number of Huaxia players. When they activated the Blood Pool's secret realm, their levels should be around level 30. It was uncertain if the closed beta players could stop the invasion of the Blood Devils. Attack power, physical attack 413 to 624, magic attack 100, strength 726, agility 822, physique 683. Lu Chen shook his head. The attributes of this level 35 orange equipment were going to explode. It added so much 3D. Special effect 1, Flame Slash, inflicts 3 segments of damage. Each segment deals, physical attack plus magic attack, *2, 10,442, points of damage and additional magic attack *3, 705, points of fire damage. Lasts for 5 seconds. Special effect 2, double critical hit chance plus 10%, triple critical hit chance plus 2%, critical hit damage plus 80%, special effect 3, artifact weapon. If the Roaring Flame Sword is equipped in the artifact column, the Roaring Flame Sword's attributes and special effects will be added to the current weapon. As an orange-grade weapon, the Flaming Sword's basic attributes were very strong. However, the first 2 special effects were relatively weak, especially the second one, which was even worse than Tiger Weep. However, as an orange-grade weapon, the strongest thing about the Flaming Sword was the 3rd special effect. With this skill alone, the Flaming Sword was already worthy of its status as an orange-grade weapon. Artifact weapons were more powerful than the weapon fusion of a refiner. Fusion could only retain the special effects and required a lot of materials. However, the Flaming Sword directly added all the attributes to another weapon. This included attack power, 3D bonuses, and special effects. Lu Chen opened the second artifact slot and placed the Flaming Sword there to activate the artifact weapon. At this time, looking at the attributes of the Wishful Staff, it was already very scary. First of all, the appearance had changed. The purple mist emitted by the Wishful Staff had turned orange. The staff was burning with orange-red flames. Damn, the Wishful Staff has directly become an orange-grade weapon. It has also become a level 35 weapon. Wishful Staff, level 35 orange, enhance plus 4, fusion plus 3, artifact strengthening state, attack power, physical attack 617 to 932, spiritual attack 100, Strength, 980, Agility, 1262, Physique, 865, these basic attributes. It's invincible. Lu Qin said excitedly. A single attribute of a piece of equipment was increased to 1000. It was too exaggerated. Double critical hit plus 32%, triple critical hit plus 2%, critical hit plus 260%, fusion, artifact strengthening, special effect 1, earth splitting gap, special effect 2, clone, special effect 3, tree climb, special effect 4, fusion tiger descends the mountain, special effect 5, fusion tiger roar, special effect 6, artifact strengthening flame slash. What else can I say? The wishful staff is now very strong. Lu Qin could not help but sigh. The combat power of the wishful staff had suddenly increased by several levels. Check the personal attribute panel. Character binding, Lu Qin, character, brave tiger and dragon might, silent moon vanguard, top dog, tiger capturer, blood pool vanguard, elite, especially strong, especially agile, especially muscular null leader, bronze boss, black Barton, quality, complete 5-star 3-dimensional increase by 700%, 0/640, 7-star quality, 0/2, ancient heart, 0 to 1, ancient blood, level, 35, upgrade progress, 630/000/24/000000, physical strength, strength, 3744. Basic 1328 plus equipment 1951 plus title 465. Agility, 3174, basic 1328 plus equipment 1846, physique, 3334, basic 1328 plus equipment 1873 plus title 133, spiritual power, 122, elixir 122, 4331/12200, pure spiritual energy, attack power, physical attack, 4653 to 4984 spiritual attack, 235, spiritual power 122 plus equipment 113, defense power, 1772, basic 664 plus equipment 875 plus title 233, spiritual defense, 92, health, 79792. Basic 33060 plus equipment 37460 plus title 9272, my attack is going to break 5000. Damn, this feels great. In terms of talents, Lu Qin had upgraded all of them to stage 5. Inferior werewolf bloodline, 25% double critical hit, 5% triple critical hit. Inferior venomous spider bloodline, 5% poison damage, which was 2793 poison damage. The duration increased by 1 second to 6 seconds. Movement speed increased by 22%. Inferior snake bloodline, 5% poison damage, 7 steps poison damage increased by 15% with each step. Inferior succubus bloodline, increased vision by 500 meters, immunity to low-level charms, and increased movement capture efficiency by 30%. Lu Qin tried to look at the boss next to him, so that he could see the boss's hand movements more clearly. Inferior tiger bloodline, 3 consecutive hits. Undead bloodline, 18% physical defense and 10% spiritual defense of enemies in range. The army recruitment order had now been upgraded to 3rd job advancement individual. Even Lu Qin himself was surprised that his stats at level 35 were already so abnormal. Haha, the stats are too cool. Lu Qin laughed. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's duel more and more. Closed beta player. Interesting. Closed beta player. Lu Qin was not afraid of sharing the burden. Instead, the sudden appearance of these so-called experts made Lu Qin even more excited. Chapter 194. There was still half an hour before the 50th day celebration ended. Lu Qin looked at his ranking. He was firmly in first place, more than 10,000 points ahead of the second place. Everything was ready. Lu Qin logged out of the game. He slept until 8 in the morning. Lu Chen took his sister out for breakfast, went grocery shopping, and exercised in the yard as usual. At 8:30, Lu Chen went online. As soon as he changed into his human skin, Lu Chen received a message. Leader, I'm Red High Heels. Can we go with you? Sure, wait for me at the city gate. I'll pick you up. Prince agreed to meet at Firmament City. Lu Chen took his sister and 7 or 8 people from Mad Waves to the location of the duel on Golden Retriever. With outsiders around, Louis didn't say many things in public. On the other hand, the people from Mad Waves were more worried about Nameless. Leader, there's a professional bookmaker outside. They've set the odds at 2-3. The higher the odds, the lower the odds. If it was more than 1, it meant that the bookmaker thought that Nameless would lose to a closed beta player. Moreover, it was 2-3 now. The bookmaker predicted that Nameless only had a 30% chance of winning. Lu Chen smiled. Aren't you guys going to bet? Leader, why aren't you nervous at all? Floral Fragrance looked at Lu Chen anxiously. We don't even know who the opponent is or what equipment they have. Ing Jun shook his head. Floral Fragrance, don't say any more. Since Nameless has accepted the challenge, there's no point in saying these things. We should believe in our leader now. Red High Heels added, yes, we're here to encourage our leader. Don't say such discouraging words. The 2 rookies, Ziheo and Xian, were particularly excited. Leader, you can do it. Lu Chen smiled and nodded. Speaking of which, it was quite lonely to play the game alone. However, after unintentionally forming Mad Waves, he felt that he wasn't so lonely anymore. 10 minutes later, the Golden Retriever arrived at Firmament City. There were already many people gathered here. There were at least 4,000 to 5,000 people. Among these 4,000 to 5,000 people, there were many who were showing live streaming. Some of them were individual streamers, while others were guild streamers. Other than that, there were also many guild leaders and closed beta players. The popularity of Fengling's live stream had reached 70 million. Nameless' duel with the Crown Prince, or more accurately, the duel with the Crown Prince's master, had become the hottest topic on the official website. Many people woke up early on the weekend just to watch this big battle. Did you see the equipment of the beta testers? His entire body is emitting a purple aura. Is he wearing a full set of purple equipment? We've never seen their equipment before. This is very disadvantageous for Nameless. They know the special effects of low-level equipment, but we don't know the special effects of their equipment. Level 30 against level 40, I feel like Nameless is a little too arrogant this time. Over at the bookmakers, most of the bets are on Nameless losing. I think it's pretty cool. He used to rely on his level and acted like he was the strongest. Now he's going to be punished. No matter what, I believe that Nameless isn't that stupid. If he's going to lose, why are there so many people watching? Lu Chen looked at the scene and smiled. There are quite a lot of people. He jumped down and Golden Retriever placed its hand in front of its shoulder. The others jumped onto its palm and were then sent to the ground by Golden Retriever. Lu Chen walked to the center of the battlefield. There were already 2 people waiting for him. When he saw the Crown Prince, Lu Chen couldn't help but laugh. Brother Crown Prince, how have you been? The Crown Prince looked at Lu Chen's laughing face and suddenly felt a little uncomfortable. It wasn't that they hadn't fought before. Back then, this guy looked harmless. Who knew that he would suddenly kill him with a single slash? However, the Crown Prince didn't show any weakness. You still have the guts to ask. You despicable person. You stole my divine beast while I was low on health. There's not a day that I don't want to take revenge on you. I can steal your divine beast, but I can't stand you taking advantage of the situation. I can't stand you pretending to be mysterious. In fact, you're just a despicable person. If it wasn't for my divine beast, would you have today's achievements? You can go from a nameless junior to today's war god Nameless? All of your achievements are because you're despicable and shameless enough. Lu Chen spread his hands. While you were low on health. I'm sorry. Back then, you told me that you weren't the crown prince and even scolded him as a despicable and shameless person. At that time, I really believed you. But I really couldn't stand it. How could you say that about the crown prince? He's actually a very good person. Other than cheating war god Huang Sha's divine beast, he shouldn't be too honest. You scolded him behind his back. You're simply too shameless. Then, I killed you. Who knew that you're the crown prince? Sorry. The crown prince almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. This guy said he was sorry, but he revealed all the things he did back then, cheating his companion's divine beast, pretending that he wasn't himself. In order to lure the Nameless away, he didn't hesitate to curse him. None of his actions were honorable. This guy didn't only know how to level up and fight. His mouth was also quite vicious. Lu Chen's sarcastic words made the crown prince speechless. Instead, it was the purple-clothed beauty beside him who took over the conversation. I couldn't tell that you're quite eloquent. Exquisite Purple Heart smiled contemptuously, then changed the topic. That's your mount? That's right. Exquisite Purple Heart snorted coldly. The Crimson Macaque is just trash in our eyes. As soon as she said that, the live stream went into an uproar. Damn, she's a closed beta player indeed. She doesn't even care about the Nameless mount. Why don't you take a look at the closed beta players' mounts? They're so cool. This woman is not bad looking, and she's so arrogant. I like it. Exquisite Purple Heart sized up Lu Chen's equipment and laughed coldly. You're almost done with the Monkey King set. 3 purples and 5 mana, and it's even strengthened. TSK. Actually, you're only missing the Monkey King head. I suggest you farm it properly. For you, the Monkey King head's attributes are quite good. When I beat you up, it'll look like I'm playing a monkey. Lu Chen frowned slightly. This woman was quite good at talking. As for me, I can see that you haven't seen much of the world, so I'll remind you that you're allowed to spawn camp in the wild. After you die, you must revive at least 3 times. Do you understand? The woman walked seductively in front of Lu Chen and looked at Lu Chen with a half-smile. So, you'd better pray that you don't expose your equipment. It'll be very embarrassing. Lu Chen really didn't know. He thought that the wild duel was just a battle in the wild. Got it. Lu Chen replied with a smile. Very good. The woman sent out an invitation to the wild duel, and at the same time, placed a fire qilin as the prize. Lu Chen took out the fire qilin and patted the little guy's head. Little White, I'll have to trouble you for a bit. Then, he placed the fire qilin's cub in the bet. Wow, a divine beast. This duel is too extravagant. 2 divine beasts, I'm so hungry I'm crying. Oh my god. Why am I more nervous than the person in question? With divine beasts as the prize, even those who were watching felt their breathing quicken. The wild duel entered the countdown. 3, 2, everyone held their breaths. Chapter 195. Almost everyone was so nervous that they forgot to breathe. Only a dozen or so people looked relaxed, a stark contrast to the players around them. These people were the legendary closed beta players. They had rushed over from various regions, leisurely waiting for the match to begin. Purple Heart is so boring. What's the point of fighting a level 35 at level 42? They were all very high level. Even if Lu Chen did not take any damage, they could still see his level. Leveling up is boring. That Nameless guy looks like he's crazy. It's good to teach him a lesson. Yeah, some people just need to know their place. How dare he challenge us closed beta players? This time, we'll take his EXP first. Speaking of which, how many divine beasts does this guy have? I've wanted to kill him for a long time, but Purple Heart beat me to it. I can earn money and divine beasts. Awesome! The battle began in the midst of these godlike players' idle chatter. Exquisite Purple Heart smiled. Suddenly, a bell appeared beside her, emitting a purple aura. Spiritual attack enhancement. Golden bell protection. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. That bell should be a purple treasure. As the level increased, there were more options for equipment. The bell rang, and the purple longsword in Purple Heart's hand glowed with a golden light. It looked like it had received some kind of special buff. The monkey show begins. Exquisite Purple Heart smiled, preparing to make the next move. At this time, Lu Chen also moved. He first put on the Zombie King mask. Spider web entanglement. Rapid movement. A ball of white spider web accurately captured Exquisite Purple Heart. At the same time, Lu Chen's figure moved so quickly that it was difficult to follow with the naked eye. No one noticed that in the process of rapid movement, Lu Chen had activated two skills at the same time. Doppelganger and invisibility. After a series of rapid movements, Nameless' real body had disappeared, leaving only a doppelganger behind. Claptrap. Exquisite Purple Heart snorted. She was not in a hurry. She had seen spider web entanglement before. If the opponent did not attack, it would last for a long time, but once the opponent attacked, the spider web would be broken. So, no matter what tricks the opponent was playing, there was no need to be afraid. As long as the fight started, spider web entanglement would be broken. Not long after, Nameless rushed towards Exquisite Purple Heart and smashed down with his club. -420, -462, poisoned, -462, poisoned, -1512, double critical, -462, poisoned, -1548, double critical, -462, poisoned, -462, poisoned. 9 segments of damage, dealing 6,252 damage. This attack caught the attention of the closed beta players who had their arms crossed in front of their chests. Damn, that guy's damage is pretty good. The life-saving golden bell is definitely one of the best purple treasures. It adds magic attack, adds maximum HP, and reduces damage by 80% for a short period of time. He can actually still deal such high damage. Poison extracted from the weapon? Or a poison master? There's actually a 3-hit combo. What kind of dog's hit luck did he step on to have such a skill? As expected of an expert. The average player still couldn't understand the principles behind Nameless and Mad God's attacks, but they were able to see through Lu Chen's attack with just one glance. It was a triple hit combo with 2 stacks of poison, and they even came up with a possible explanation. Of course, their guess was completely wrong. However, the ones who were truly shocked were the players. Damn, that Exquisite Purple Heart has 120,000 HP. Are you kidding me? Her defense is so high. Nameless' attack should be over 2,000, right? But without a critical hit, it can only deal around 400 damage. That's too strong. Exquisite Purple Heart, however, was furious that Lu Chen could deal so much damage to her. Poison purification. With one move, she dispelled the poison effect on her body. Kid, you're asking for it. 3 pure sword formation. The purple longsword in her hand split into 3 and shot towards Lu Chen. Exquisite Purple Heart was a sword spirit, and her skill was much stronger than the average players. This 3 pure sword formation allowed one sword to split into 3. It started quickly and was almost instantaneous. The flying speed of the sword formation was extremely fast. Unless the average player predicted it, it would be very difficult for them to dodge. Lu Chen was originally the closest to Exquisite Purple Heart. Facing the 3 pure sword formation, he had no chance to dodge and was hit directly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sword formation went straight through Lu Chen's body. Minus 5633, magic attack, minus 5633, magic attack, minus 5633, magic attack. At the same time, 2 debuffs appeared on Lu Chen's body. One was 3 stacks of magic attack of vulnerability. When receiving a magic attack, receive an additional 15% damage. The other was paralysis. The entire body was paralyzed, and the paralysis lasted for 0.5 seconds. Lu Chen's 70,000 plus HP was instantly reduced by 1/5. He was even hit by 2 debuffs. Royal Crown Prince looked at his master's attack in shock. Was this the power of a high-level skill? It was too strong. However, Exquisite Purple Heart's attack was not over yet. 3 Pure Sword Formation, Stage 2. Exquisite Purple Heart clenched her fingers. The sword formation that was far away heard the command and suddenly turned around, launching a second wave of attacks from behind. Minus 6196, magic attack, minus 6196, magic attack, minus 6196, magic attack. Magic attack of vulnerability was stacked 2 more times, reaching the limit of 5 stacks. Receive an additional 25% damage from magic attacks. 3 Pure Sword Formation, Stage 3. This caused the live stream to explode. Fuck, there's still 3 more stages. Is there any justice? The 3 Pure Sword Formation is too strong. In the beginning, we were only talking about the difference in level and equipment. It turns out that the key is the difference in skill. This skill is so cool, and its damage is so high. The sword spirits must be so excited that they're crying. Sigh, I'm so jealous. However, Lu Chen's HP was a little surprising. Nameless Bro has 70,000 plus HP. When his level is high, can his HP increase by so much? 70,000 plus HP is not enough. The first stage of the 3 Pure Sword Formation took away almost half of his HP. Let's see how much damage the third stage can do. The 3 purple swords merged into one and became solid again, stabbing towards Lu Chen. Pft. 28750, magic critical hit. Fuck. Magic attacks can also deal critical hits. It should be the third stage. Don't forget, Nameless Bro has a 25% magic damage amplification. This 3 Pure Sword Formation is too strong. It's over. Nameless Bro only dealt a small amount of damage to his opponent, and now he's only left with 10,000 plus HP. Is this the strength of a closed beta player? This is too scary. The purple sword returned to Exquisite Zixin's hand. This time, she was not in a hurry to attack. Kid, do you know the difference between us now? I've only used a few moves, and you're almost dead. Ha ha ha, it's really like playing a monkey. Zixin looked at Nameless, but found that his expression had not changed from the beginning to the end. He was probably disheartened. Alright, looks like you know that you're trash. Then I don't need to waste time with you. Zixin raised her sword finger, and the purple sword hovered beside her. I'll use a low-level move to kill you. 10,000 Sword Technique. The purple sword opened up like a fan, creating afterimages. Then, 9 purple swords shot towards Lu Chen at the same time. 10,000 Sword Technique, 10,000 arrows piercing the heart. Pu, minus 3,444, minus 3,444. 9 attacks, all hit. Lu Chen could not dodge at all under the paralysis effect. Lui held on tightly to Leng Nua, but she could not help but stagger and take half a step back. Nameless Bro lost. Bro did not even have the strength to fight back. No, this was impossible. Trash. Crown Prince roared in agitation. Now all of you see how trash Nameless Bro is. He ordered people to bully people lower than him, and when he met someone stronger, he was played like a monkey in the palm of his hand. Ha 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 ha. Nameless bro, you're trash. Crown Prince was agitated for a long time. When he turned to look at his master, he found that her expression was not right. Master? Shut up. Exquisite Zixin's expression had never been so serious. The closed beta players around them had the same expression as Exquisite Zixin. They stared at the battlefield, as if there was an invisible monster somewhere on the battlefield, ready to pounce at any moment. Crown Prince was completely confused, until he looked down at Nameless Bro's corpse. After staring for a few seconds, Nameless Bro's corpse suddenly turned into smoke with a bang. Chapter 196. Zixin finally understood that what she had killed was just an illusion. In the battlefield, a faint voice sounded, "So, who's the one fooling who?" Zixin's face was ashen. The other party was just an illusion, and she had fought as if it was real. Who was the one fooling who? The key was, when did this guy use an illusion to replace his real body? That's right, it was that rapid movement. During the rapid movement, he could use skills. He relied on the super high movement speed of the rapid movement to fool everyone's eyes. At the same time, he used invisibility and doppelganger. This way, when the rapid movement ended, everyone would only see a doppelganger. The closed beta players had already seen through the trick, but the other players were completely dumbfounded. Fuck, what's going on? Was that nameless illusion just now? What kind of godly operation is this? No one saw that it was an illusion. Even the closed beta players couldn't see through it, let alone us. It was still the TT Guild. Lin Sun shook his head, this guy fooled everyone. This is the first time I've seen someone use an illusion like this. Li Chuning clasped her hands together and said excitedly, I told you he wouldn't be killed so quickly. He's nameless. In a villa in the Sunshine District, Li Muhua and his men were watching the duel. Seeing Lu Chen's trick, the group of men hugged each other excitedly. Damn, I was scared to death. I thought that guy was dead. Ha ha ha, Brother Chen is also a narrow-minded person. That girl kept saying that fighting him was like playing a monkey, but he insisted on playing with his opponent. Ha ha ha, awesome. Look at Prince's expression. Ha ha ha, he's a complete idiot. Exquisite Zixin narrowed her eyes slightly. Where did this guy get the invisibility skill? Nameless, the wild monsters now don't have invisibility skills. Where did you get it? Aren't you all closed beta players? You should know more than me. Why do you need me to tell you? Voices came from all directions. Why don't you be my disciple? Maybe I can tell you. A level 42 disciple of a level 35 disciple. How could there be such a thing? Lu Chen was obviously retorting. Damn it, don't think that you can win just because you used some tricks. So what if you're invisible? I don't believe that you can stay invisible forever. As long as you come out, I'll chop you into pieces today. Cut me into pieces. Exquisite, I've already checked your status. That bell of yours is pretty strong. It adds 80% HP and 80% damage reduction. Unfortunately, the damage reduction effect has already worn off. Lu Chen made his move while invisible. Not only did he want to toy with Exquisite Purple Heart, he was also waiting for the duration of the life-saving bell to end. In the beginning, Lu Chen discovered that the life-saving bell provided a massive amount of damage reduction. This damage reduction was too awesome. It was precisely because of this that Lu Chen concluded that the life-saving bell, as a purple magic weapon, could not be a permanent buff. It must only be able to last for a certain period of time. Now, it seemed that Lu Chen's guess was half correct. The life-saving bell's defense reduction had disappeared, but the HP buff had not yet ended. Exquisite's HP was still at 120,000 plus. For Lu Chen, the disappearance of the defense reduction was enough. 120,000 HP was not the main point. Exquisite Purple Heart was burning with anger. She immediately brought out her second magic weapon, an irregular piece of dark steel. Electric arcs constantly danced on the dark steel. Seeing this piece of dark steel, the closed beta players were all excited. This is the Thunder Iron of the 5 Elements God Iron. Fuck, Purple Heart got another purple magic weapon. As long as you're targeted by this thing, unless you kill its owner first, it'll electrocute you until you start doubting life. The God Iron quickly hovered in the middle of the arena, then wandered around as if looking for prey. Ha, Nameless, come out. Do you have the guts to come out? Exquisite Purple Heart stared at the Thunder Iron. As long as it locked onto Lu Chen, she would not hesitate to use her ultimate move to kill him. Just as she was fully focused on the Thunder Iron, a circle of light suddenly flashed under her feet. In a short second, the circle of light suddenly exploded. Heavenly Flame Pillar, dealing 4 spiritual attack per second for 2 seconds. Now that Lu Chen had converted all his physical attack into spiritual attack, his total spiritual attack was 5,000 plus. Perhaps Purple Heart did not expect that Lu Chen would have such a skill. She also did not expect that this skill would be activated without the need to appear. With a boom, a white light shot into the sky and drowned Purple Heart in an instant. 2013420134. Under the buff of the life-saving Golden Bell, Purple Heart's HP reached a terrifying 120,000. However, in front of the Heavenly Flame Pillar, Purple Heart's HP instantly dropped by 1/3. Purple Heart's heart trembled. What kind of attack was this? She could also deal 20,000 plus spiritual attack damage, but that was the 3rd section of the Sanqing Sword formation. In a situation where the first 2 sections hit, the 3rd section would definitely deal double the damage. However, this Heavenly Flame Pillar dealt 20,000 plus damage. 2 hits directly took out 40,000 HP. This is the Heavenly Flame Pillar of the Celestial Mountain main city. No, it's even higher than the Heavenly Flame Pillar there. Yes, the Celestial Mountain main city's 72 Heavenly Flame Pillars deal 10,000 damage. Nameless Heavenly Flame Pillar deals 20,000 damage. Fuck, there's still points. The closed beta player's face turned green. No way, it can be activated while invisible. In other words, this is not a skill or special effect, but a treasure. Only a treasure could not break invisibility. Where did you get this treasure? Why is the damage so high? Lu Chen had killed the Aurora White Tiger's soul fragment and the Gore Fiend, but no one knew what he had killed. Now, Lu Chen had confirmed that none of the closed beta players had killed the Aurora White Tiger. Then, it was very likely that they had not killed the Gore Fiend, who was stronger than the White Tiger. Exquisite Purple Heart hurriedly retreated from the Heavenly Flame Pillar's range. Suddenly, she heard a low voice behind her. Sorry, I've been waiting for you. Exquisite Purple Heart reacted quickly and hurriedly turned around to retreat. However, with this step, she had already stepped on another Heavenly Flame Pillar. 2048220484. Out of 120,000 HP, only 30,000 was left. You tricked me. Exquisite Purple Heart was completely flustered. She had actually been toyed with by a level 35 player. All is fair in war. The voice rang out, and Nameless actually appeared. Thunder Iron quickly found its target and hovered above Nameless' head. Pa, a bolt of lightning struck. -2,000. Lu Chen smiled slightly. A purple treasure is still a purple treasure. This kind of treasure that deals continuous damage probably doesn't have high damage. You're only using this thing because you're afraid that I'll go invisible and want to locate my position. Exquisite Purple Heart glared at Lu Chen. His analysis was not wrong. If Thunder Iron could directly electrocute Nameless to death with 70,000 HP in a few hits, then it would at least be an orange treasure. Lu Chen smiled slightly. But don't worry, I don't plan on going invisible. There's no point in being invisible all the time. There's no sense in participating at all. Handsome, who was watching from the side, spat out a mouthful of old blood. What did he mean by, no sense of participating at all? Did he mean that as long as he wanted to, he could kill Exquisite Purple Heart without losing any HP? Not a single drop of HP was lost in the battle. Thinking about it, it seemed that there was no sense of participation at all. Lu Chen pulled out his wishful long staff and looked up at Exquisite Purple Heart. You said that Blondie is trash. Well, I can't refute that. I can only say that I like it. It's none of your business. But you said that my equipment is trash. I'm a little unhappy about that. Compared to the high-level purple weapons of the closed beta players, the wishful long staff was indeed considered mediocre. However, when Lu Chen gently stroked the body of the long staff, everything changed. On the wishful long staff, there was a burst of fire, and the weapon's purple aura was instantly replaced by flames. The orange-red flames were burning fiercely. Look, your equipment is worthless in front of this. Exquisite Purple Heart, the closed beta players, the players in the audience, and the players watching the live broadcast. Many of them were shocked speechless. After a long time, one of the closed beta players stammered, "How is this possible? How is this possible? How can this weapon be an orange weapon? Earth-shattering chasm." With a bang, the wishful long staff transformed into a huge shadow. The entire sky seemed to be burning with flames, and the flames soared into the sky. With a bang, Exquisite Purple Heart had no time to dodge and was hit by the staff. 16488. Stun. Rapid movement. Tiger descends the mountain. In an instant, Lu Chen had already arrived in front of Exquisite Purple Heart. He smiled slightly. Thank you for your fire, Kirin. This time, Lu Chen directly hit 18 segments of damage. There was no suspense. It was a direct kill. At the same time, the thunder iron above Lu Chen's head disappeared. He looked back at the Crown Prince and smiled slightly. Let your master run quickly. I'll wait for her. At this moment, the 4,000 to 5,000 people in the audience were silent. Chapter 197. In a battle in the wild, even if one side was defeated, they had to revive at least 3 times. If they did not revive after the time limit, the system would force them to revive. A person who had just revived only had 10% HP left. If they could not win with full HP and even less with 10% HP, there was no suspense to the final result. As soon as Exquisite Zixin revived, Lu Chen smashed her with his staff. Without the life-saving exquisite state, she only had 67,000 HP. Lu Chen's doppelganger could kill her instantly, let alone his own attack. She was killed instantly and continuously. She even dropped a level 40 purple greaves. The second time, Exquisite Zixin was forcefully revived by the system. As soon as she revived, Lu Chen saw tears at the corner of her eyes. However, Lu Chen still smashed her with his staff. Exquisite Zixin dropped another level 40 purple breastplate. The third time, Exquisite Zixin was forcefully revived by the system again. At this time, everyone realized that Exquisite Zixin was only level 41. Fuck, she was killed until she dropped a level. The higher the level, the higher the death penalty. But to drop a level after dying 3 times, that's a little scary. Jiutian is the most insane game in history. Moreover, Exquisite Zixin might have just reached level 42. What I want to say is that Nameless is too cruel. He didn't stop even after she was crying. What do you know? That's how a battle in the wild is. Nameless didn't kill her. Did Nameless have to admit defeat? Who told her to start a battle in the wild? Exquisite Zixin was the strongest player selected by the Tianqing Company. Even among the closed beta players, her strength was not bad. In the end, she was killed repeatedly by a normal player. She was on the verge of breaking down. Humiliation, unwillingness, anger, shame. Even her only mythical beast was going to lose to that guy. If she had not been holding it in, tears would have flowed out of her eyes. After camping exquisite Zixin 3 times, before she could revive, the closed beta players all rushed to the scene and glared at Lu Chen. Lu Chen took off his zombie king mask and smiled. What's wrong? Are you afraid that I'll continue to guard the corpse? 3 forced revivals in the wild only meant that the battle was over. It didn't mean that one side couldn't continue to spawn camp. If Lu Chen wanted to, he could continue to spawn camp. Kid, you've got guts. Among the closed beta players, a valiant man stood at the very front. His ID was Burning Sword Saint. He looked coldly at Lu Chen and said, "Today, Ling Long suffered because of your invisibility. You may not be able to win if you fight her head-on." Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. After playing for so long, why are you still so childish? If this was reality, she would have already died in my hands. You're telling me to fight her head-on? Does it make any sense? Burning Sky Sword Saint coldly snorted. How arrogant. Nameless. Don't worry, if you feel bored with no one to play with, we'll wait for you in a level 40 map. Ha 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 ha. Why are you waiting for me in a level 40 map? Do you want to challenge me now because you don't like me? Or do you know what you're capable of, so you want to gang up on me in a level 40 map? Burning Sky Sword Saint narrowed his eyes and stared fixedly at Lu Chen. He said coldly, a half-full bucket of water is always the fiercest. Kid, do you think you're invincible? You're just lucky to have gotten yourself an invisibility treasure. Once your invisibility is broken, do you think you'll be able to jump up? I'm not afraid to tell you that the truly strong won't bother to make a move on low-level trash like you. At this time, Ling Long Zixin had already revived. Her eyes were red as she stared fixedly at Lu Chen. Nameless. I, Ling Long, will return today's humiliation 100-fold in the future. Ling Long Zixin hated Lu Chen to the core. Losing 2 pieces of level 40 purple equipment was a small matter. What was more important was that she had lost face in front of all the players today. Lu Chen frowned and blinked his eyes. That's strange. Why do you speak as if you're the weaker party? Didn't you initiate this outdoor duel? If I lose, you'll probably have to play a few more tricks when you're camping my corpse before you're willing to kill me, right? Forget it, forget it. If you want to take revenge on me, you're welcome anytime. But you'd better remember this. Before you have any ideas about me, you'd better weigh your own abilities. The competition was over, and Lu Chen had obtained another fire Qilin. Lu Chen turned around and saw the girl in the crowd who was already stiff all over. He smiled and shook his head. This silly girl must have been too worried about him just now and still hadn't recovered. Hey, beauty, come over here for a moment. Louis frowned. Even her steps were a little stiff as she walked in front of Lu Chen. Beauty, I see that you're pretty, so I'll give you this divine beast. Lu Chen didn't disclose Lu Yi's identity to protect his sister. Of course, when he saw the silly girl's dazed look, Lu Chen also felt that it was funny, so he deliberately teased her. In the end, Lu Chen's perfunctory reason caused an uproar in the live broadcast room. Fuck, you're giving her a divine beast just because she's pretty. Do you have to be so generous? No way, that works too. Giving it away so casually. My jaw is about to drop. He's giving away a divine beast just like that. A divine beast's cub is worth at least 10 million, and he's giving it away so easily. Don't be silly, she's from Wild Waves. Moreover, she even challenged Nameless to a competition last time. She should be Nameless' girlfriend. Fuck, the person above replied too promptly. Otherwise, I'd really be jealous to death. Impossible, how can my husband have a girlfriend? If she's his girlfriend, my husband would have leveled up with her. She's just a normal friend. A female fan said excitedly. Lu Yi was also amused by her brother. She smiled coquettishly. Crazy. Lu Yi was really happy. Although she never asked her brother for one, who wouldn't want a divine beast's cub? A divine beast's cub was very cute in its infancy. It was impossible to tell that it would become a powerful divine beast in the future. At this time, Lu Yi held the little guy with both hands and rubbed her face against the little guy intimately. Little thing, you're so cute. The group of people couldn't help but feel their hearts itch. I really want a divine beast. Whoever gives me one, I'll marry him immediately. This is too cute. Ah, I want one too. Whoever gives me a hug, I'll marry him immediately. I'm so jealous. At this time, there were two people whose hearts were bleeding. Exquisite Zixin naturally didn't need to be mentioned. She never dreamed that she would lose the fire Qilin. Seeing someone else holding her pet, Exquisite couldn't hold it in anymore. She turned around and ran away. The other person was the royal crown prince. He had always wanted a divine beast. At this time, seeing Nameless give away a divine beast so easily, he almost broke down. He tried his best to get a divine beast, but John Doe gave it to someone else. The difference was too big. Lu Chen suddenly raised his voice and said, if anyone dares to have any ideas about the divine beast that I'm giving away, don't blame me for being ruthless. Those who still had some ideas about it suppressed them. Even the closed beta players couldn't win against Nameless. They were no match for her. Suddenly, Lu Chen turned around and looked at the royal crown prince with a smile. Except for you. The royal crown prince didn't understand. Nameless meant that he could have any ideas about the divine beast? Why? Next time, if there's such a good thing, remember to look for me. Hearing Nameless' last sentence, the royal crown prince almost vomited blood. Chapter 198. The highly anticipated battle between Nameless and Exquisite in the wild had finally come to an end. To many people's surprise, John Doe still easily killed the level 42 beta tester with a crushing advantage. It was said that some people had made a fortune from the betting companies, while some had lost so badly that they were crying for their parents. However, the betting companies still made a profit in the end. It could only be said that the individual players were no match for the big companies. The major streamers had already left. Many of them had climbed onto the beta tester's mount. It seemed that they had followed the beta tester to this map. Lu Chen led the Wild Waves members to sit on Golden Retriever's shoulder and sent them back to the main city of Mount Immortal. Leader, you're too strong. Zi Hao was now full of admiration for their leader. Of course. Who's Nameless? I've never seen Nameless lose before. 10 Steps proudly put his arm around Nameless' shoulder. Speaking of which, he was the first to call him Nameless. Ing Jun slapped 10 Steps' hand away. How dare you put your arm around the boss' shoulder? Lu Chen smiled. It's okay. We're all friends. In fact, many people thought that Nameless was very arrogant, and he indeed gave off such a feeling. Even Leng Nuo was a little nervous when she saw Lu Chen. However, Nameless was actually a very easygoing person. When they first met, Lu Chen was able to team up with 10 Steps and the others. In fact, one could see his personality from this. After such a long time, Zi Hao and Xian Xian were still a little afraid of Lu Chen. However, 10 Steps and the others were obviously much closer. Nuo Nuo, how's the development of the guild? If there's anything you need me to do, let me know. Lu Chen sat beside Leng Nuo. Leng Nuo thought for a moment and said, after the last live stream, someone came looking for us again. Oh, right, that Huarui also came looking for us. In the end, he was locked outside and couldn't come in. Lu Chen laughed. My principle is to play the game properly and mind our own business. We can even become friends. However, if you try to scheme against me like they did, you'll die as far as you can. Well done. Leng Noa blushed slightly and continued, as for the others who want to sign the contract, I'll offer them 5 million. They hope that you can bring their people. I've also replied that you will bring them, but it's up to you to decide when to bring them. Lu Qin nodded. Alright, I got it. Anyway, make arrangements for these rookies. Let me know if there are 4 of them. It's not a problem for me to take care of them occasionally. There's one more thing, leader. There are a lot of people who want to join Mad Waves. I plan to raise the threshold. Lu Qin thought for a moment and said, that's fine. Mad Waves has hopes of becoming a professional team. Now that you have funds, your development will get better and better. If you don't want those bystanders, then so be it. When you choose people, don't look at their levels. The key is their attitude and potential. Yes, and character. This is also very important. In the future, Mad Waves will be everyone's home in the game. No one likes people with questionable character. Okay, I got it. This time, the Gorefiend invasion has caused quite a loss to our members. I'll put 1,000 gold in the warehouse first. Noa, you're in charge of distributing it. What? 1,000 gold? Leader, this amount is too big. We can't let you pay for it alone. Lu Qin shook his head. I'm not short of money. Also, in the future, you can collect the Spirit Source shards from the Demon Subduing Tower. You need them to upgrade your Spirit Source. Leng Noa looked at Lu Qin in surprise. Leader, actually, you've already done enough for Mad Waves. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been able to establish the current Mad Waves. Lu Qin smiled. Don't lack confidence in yourselves. You're all very strong, and you'll be even stronger in the future. I've also thought about it. Spiritual energy will be an extremely important attribute in the future. Cultivating in the guild's territory is currently the fastest way to obtain pure spiritual energy. Other teams have Spirit Source shards, but you don't. With hundreds of people in the guild, your cultivation speed will be slower than others. This won't do. Today, it was rare for Lu Qin to discuss matters regarding the development of the guild with everyone. The guild that Lu Qin had casually established in the past was now able to generate a considerable amount of wealth for him. Moreover, as the guild developed, it would create even more opportunities. Although Leng Noa never asked Lu Qin for anything, Lu Qin had also begun to spend some time and effort on Mad Waves. To him, this guild was just a plaything. However, to many people, such as Leng Noa and the others, as well as Lu Yi, they all cared about Mad Waves. As the leader, he more or less had to care about the development of the guild. After killing Bloodseeker, Lu Qin already knew that there were actually other ways to obtain Spirit Source cores. Moreover, it was possible to obtain high-grade Spirit Source cores. He still had a surplus of Spirit Source shards on hand, so he might as well give this benefit to Mad Waves. When one's level was high, some resources were not so important. After sending everyone back to the Celestial Mountain, Lu Qin specially called out to Lu Yi. Hey, silly girl. If someone wants to bully you, tell me. No way. I'll become stronger myself. Lu Yi said proudly. I'm the sister of the strongest player. How can I be weak? Lu Qin smiled and flicked Lu Yi's forehead. Okay. You're the strongest. I'm leaving. Okay. Lu Yi nodded obediently. Suddenly, she thought of something and pulled Lu Qin back. Hey, will they stop you at level 40? Who knows? It's up to them. If they insist on sending a few more mythical beasts, I have no objections. You'd better be careful. That exquisite must hate you to death. Also, the closed beta players are very likely to be part of an organization. You saw how they protected exquisite Zixin's resurrection together. It feels like they're all together. That Burning Sky Sword Celestial also seemed to say that they have stronger people on their side. Lu Qin nodded. He had also seen this detail. I know. I'll be careful. The Bloodseekers' invasion had ended. Next weekend, Hua Xia's players would welcome a full 48 hours of double time and double drops. For Hua Xia's players, this was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Although Lu Chen had killed the Celestial Mountain's mythical beast and greatly reduced the mountain's defense, in other words, even if Lu Chen did not make a move, the White Tiger would still die in the end. The Bloodseeker could even destroy the Celestial Mountain city. Now, the Celestial Mountain could be protected and gave the players a main city to supply. At the same time, Lu Chen also obtained the treasures of the White Tiger and the Bloodseeker. This was already considered the best outcome. At the same time, Lu Chen easily won the championship in the 50th day celebration. He won the supercar Chameleon. The car was shipped from overseas. With customs inspection and so on, it would take 1.5 months for the goods to arrive. With these two major matters settled, Lu Chen finally had the chance to properly explore the ancient battlefield. Standing in front of the third altar, Lu Chen took a deep breath. Pay 20 million reputation points. Begin matching. 20 million reputation points matched with an opponent. Who exactly was it? And what would the corresponding instance dungeon drop? Lu Chen was filled with anticipation. Chapter 199. That silly girl from last time also came to challenge the 20 million reputation altar. Would they meet again? Thinking of that beauty, Lu Chen felt that she was too unlucky. It would be fun if they could meet again. A white light appeared. Then, a figure appeared from the white light. This person was 9 meters tall. As soon as he saw this figure, Lu Chen knew that he would not be so lucky this time. As expected, the white light disappeared. A tall man stood in front of Lu Chen. There was no panic on his face, only a little surprise. What the hell is this? It's so ugly. Lu Chen sized up the other party and was shocked. The other party was only wearing purple equipment and was not better than that woman. Strange? Wouldn't an opponent with 20 million reputation be stronger? That's not right. That woman said she wanted to challenge 20 million reputation. That means I have a chance of matching with her. Then, what's the difference between 20 million and 10 million? Lu Chen was puzzled when a message appeared in the system. To challenge the third altar, 50% of the pain system has been activated. The pain system has been adjusted to the corresponding ratio. The challenge will begin immediately. Lu Chen finally understood. The difference was not in the opponent's strength, but in the pain system. 50% of the pain system was already very exaggerated. In the past, no matter how realistic Jiutian was, in Lu Chen's mind, it was just a game with advanced technology. Now, it seemed to be a little different. 50% of the pain system was really painful. This time, Lu Chen started to feel nervous. It was not because of the opponent, but because of the setting. The other party did not seem to be very experienced. He looked very nervous and was trying hard to adjust his breathing. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Just fight normally. I can fight the boss without taking any damage. I can fight this guy as well. Lu Chen was a little depressed. Why did the other party say his lines? That's right. Being nervous was useless. Only by concentrating could one win. If their strength was similar, it would be a contest of mentality. The altar of remnant souls beneath their feet suddenly expanded, turning into a spacious battleground. Both of them were trying hard to adjust their mentality. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. Begin. Wind surge. The other party was the first to attack. It seemed like he had fused the special effect of the Dark Shadow Tempest cloak into his breastplate, greatly increasing his movement speed. Mountain-splitting slash. The broadsword in the opponent's hand suddenly transformed into a huge shadow, smashing towards Lu Chen. Pugilist. Lu Chen didn't dare to take it head-on. Quick movement. Tiger roar. Great Ravager's sweep. While moving, Lu Chen sent out several sword chis. Second stage Golden Cauldron Imperial Bell. The opponent was indeed a pugilist. The special effect of the second stage Golden Cauldron Emperor Bell was more exaggerated than the skills of normal players. A huge golden cauldron shadow appeared on the opponent's body and covered him. Dang, 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 the three sword chis all hit the golden cauldron, and the two skills cancelled each other out. This monster is so agile. The man waved his broadsword and slammed it into the ground. Earth control, earthquake. Lu Chen's feet shook violently, and his body was greatly affected. The opponent was obviously an expert as well. Taking advantage of Lu Chen's stagnation, he quickly chased after him. Blade Dance First Style, Chaotic Dance of Spring and Autumn. Damn, this guy is even harder to deal with than Linglong Zixin. His chain of skills and reaction speed were impeccable. Invisibility. Doppelganger. Lu Chen quickly used his doppelganger to deceive the opponent's firepower. With a bang, the illusion lost more than 15,000 HP, losing 1/5 of its HP. This monster actually used its doppelganger to deceive me. The ancient battlefield is indeed not an ordinary monster. The man immediately took out a small purple gourd. Broken Shadow, Absorb. The illusion with more than 50,000 HP was instantly killed. Invisibility is useful. I'm sorry, you met me. Earth Control, Second Style, Earthquake. The surrounding earth unbelievably moved in the form of waves, and Lu Chen couldn't stand still. Here you are. Mountain Splitter. That guy actually headed toward where Lu Chen was and directly slashed at him. Damn, he actually found my real body. Lu Chen was caught off guard and was hit by the slash, and his whole body was swept away. After entering the battle, his invisibility was also gone. -7,700, -674, Magic Attack. Debuff, Knocked Down, Physical Resonance, Attack Power reduced by 5%. This was probably the first time Lu Chen was knocked down while fighting with all his might. There was some pain on his body, but it was still bearable. Lu Chen hurriedly stood up and locked his eyes on his opponent. Not bad. Lu Chen spoke. The opponent was slightly surprised. Many bosses could speak, but no bosses spoke in such a tone. You're quite interesting. Why? Are you angry? Actually, there's nothing embarrassing about being defeated by me. The opponent had the same confidence as Lu Chen. But what he said was right. This sort of his really made Lu Chen a little angry. Finally, I met someone who can fight. Interesting. Lu Chen said as he wiped the blood from his mouth. The man didn't back down. You really look like a villain. Let me tell you, the interesting part is yet to come. The two started playing again. This time, Lu Chen made the first move and quickly moved his hand. Spider Web Entanglement. This was the skill that Lu Chen first obtained. It didn't deal any damage, but it was surprisingly effective for crowd control. It was very fast, and unless the opponent had a displacement skill, it would be very difficult to dodge. This was just the beginning. Earth-Splitting Chasm. This skill combined with Spider Web Entanglement was definitely a hit. Golden Cauldron Imperial Bell Stage 2. The opponent's reaction was also very fast. Seeing that he couldn't escape, he simply defended. The damage of Earth-Splitting Chasm was negated. It seemed that the Golden Cauldron Imperial Bell Stage 2 could negate 3 attacks. Lu Chen quickly used Great Ravager to negate the effects of the Golden Cauldron Imperial Bell. At the same time, 2 pillars of fire shot out from under the man's feet. At this time, the man was stunned by Earth-Splitting Chasm and couldn't move at all. -2012220132. Lu Chen's attack was too high. The opponent's health instantly dropped, and the huge damage caused him to spit out a mouthful of blood. Experts would never stop at one wave of attacks. Instead, they would unleash their full potential. Rapid movement. Lu Chen quickly approached and waited for a suitable distance. Monkey King's reverse blood. This health recovery skill was used by Lu Chen as a crowd control skill. Before the opponent could recover from earth-splitting chasm, he was stunned again. Another 2 pillars of fire, 40,000 health. Fierce Tiger descends the mountain, 18 segments of damage, directly removing 50,000 plus health from the opponent. In this wave of damage, Lu Chen dealt 100,000 health per second. It was just enough to complete the kill. However, the opponent didn't die in the end. He was only left with 1 health. The battle was over. The man knelt on the ground and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. He gasped for breath and looked up at Lu Chen. "You, cough cough, you, how are you so strong?" Lu Chen looked at the man and smiled. "You're not bad yourself." The man nodded. "Very good. I hope I can be matched with you again next time. Next time, I will bring a crowd control removal treasure. At that time, I won't lose again." Lu Chen smiled. "I hope I can be matched with you again. Speaking of which, where did you come from?" Before the other party could reply, a white light flashed and that person disappeared. The empty duel arena was restored to a small broken altar. The entrance to the dungeon appeared on the altar. Lu Chen looked at the entrance and frowned slightly. "I didn't expect there to be such an expert. If he brought a crowd control removal treasure and destroyed one of my crowd control skills, I might not be able to kill him instantly." Then, Lu Chen laughed again. "However, this ancient battlefield is really exciting. Interesting." Chapter 200. After winning, Lu Chen's 20 million reputation points returned. After entering the instance dungeon, there were more monsters here, and their levels were higher as well. They were all level 42. However, for Lu Chen, the only difference was that he gained more experience points. Interestingly, it was unknown whether it was because Lu Chen used wild monster reputation, so when he entered the instance, whether it was 10 million or 20 million, they were all humanoid spirit monsters. Using the heavenly flame pillar, Lu Chen leisurely wandered around the instance dungeon. The boss of the boss room became a level 45, primordial commander. It took 6 minutes to kill it, but it dropped 1,100,000 experience points and 2 primordial hearts. The value of experience points was slightly lower, but the primordial materials were more profitable. 1.5 hours later, Lu Chen rushed out of the primordial instance dungeon. Why don't I challenge the 30 million one? Lu Chen was tempted. If it was just the pain system, then Lu Chen was not too afraid. Let's give it a try. Pay 30 million reputation points. A white light descended from the sky, and a slender figure appeared in the white light. She held 2 swords in her hands and stood proudly, giving off a valiant and formidable aura. This figure, why does it look so familiar? The white light dissipated, and Lu Chen was stunned. This person was that silly girl. "Ah! Why is it you again?" The woman stared at Lu Chen and almost went crazy. Why? I've already chosen 30 million reputation points. Why am I still matched with you?" Lu Chen almost burst out laughing. How unlucky was this woman? In order to avoid him, she directly jumped to the 30 million difficulty, but she still met him. Lu Chen's head floated in front of the woman, and he stuck out his tongue. "Ah! I'm so miserable. Ah! Don't come over, sob 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 sob. What the hell are you? Why do you keep pestering me? Do you think I'm easy to bully?" The woman completely broke down and hid in a corner, crying sadly, I'm not a monster in the game, I'm here for revenge. I was dismembered when I was alive, and then they used all kinds of broken parts to piece me back together. It hurts so much, look, my head is still dripping blood." Lu Chen's head wasn't bleeding at all, but the woman didn't dare to look. She threw away her weapon, hugged herself, and hid in a corner. I don't want to see, I don't want to see. Don't come any closer. They were the ones who dismembered you, not me. Go look for them. Don't follow me anymore, I'm begging you, sob sob sob. Lu Chen was laughing like crazy. This woman was too funny. She had already lost tens of millions of reputation points because of him. Speaking of which, this woman had quite a lot of reputation points. She still dared to challenge him after losing so much. Lu Chen felt a little embarrassed when he saw that he had scared her so much that her pretty face had turned pale. To be able to make Lu Chen feel embarrassed, this woman was really pitiful. Hey, you won't run away again this time, right? Don't talk to me, don't talk. I want to go home. Big sis, I'm just a normal wild monster. Is your profession scaring you to this extent? You're not. You're the ugliest wild monster. Didn't you just say that you're not a wild monster in the game? The woman seemed to have suddenly reacted. Nonsense, I'm not a wild monster in the game. Could it be that I'm really a ghost? Lu Chen shook his head and sighed. This woman was really stupid. The woman sneaked a glance at Lu Chen and realized that the floating head in front of her had returned to the side of the terrifying wild monster. Only then did she let out a sigh of relief. There were 30 million reputation points here. Even if she had a lot of reputation points, she couldn't squander them like this. Every time she met this guy, she would run away. She had already lost 30 million reputation points. If she lost another 30 million, the people in the guild would definitely complain. After gathering her courage, the woman picked up the two swords on the ground and stood up hesitantly. You're really not a ghost. Even if I am, I'm still a ghost among wild monsters. You've killed quite a number of spirit-type wild monsters, right? It can't be that you've really met a ghost in real life, right? There are ghosts in real life. Forget it, since you're a wild monster, I have nothing to be afraid of. Humph, you despicable person, you actually dared to scare me. I've already been scolded a few times because of you. Lu Chen was also speechless. Big sis, you're the one who's afraid. How can you blame me? If it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't stand it anymore, you would probably have run away this time. You're the one who's running away. Didn't you notice? This time, I lasted much longer than the previous few times. Anyway, I don't care. This time, I'm going to defeat myself. I'm going to defeat you. Lu Chen nodded approvingly. Very good, good luck. The woman was stunned. This wild monster was actually cheering for her. Don't be so proud. I'm very strong. Yes, good luck. Here you go. 30 million altars, 75% of the pain. When the system completed the adjustment, Lu Chen felt a surge of adrenaline. He seemed to be liking this feeling more and more. He could feel pain and bleed. This was a real battle. The beautiful woman skillfully twirled her swords in a circle. Her eyes were fixed on Lu Chen's head. One body, one head. Lu Chen had two targets. The duel arena was completed. The two stood in the spacious arena. Ready to count down. 3, 2, 1. Start. The moment the duel began, the woman moved first. She turned the two swords upside down, the hilts facing each other. She pressed down hard and the two swords combined into one. Then, she threw the ame-piercer weapon toward Lu Chen. The two swords spun rapidly and shot toward Lu Chen. Lu Chen was also shocked and hurriedly dodged. Tracking technique. The woman formed a seal with both hands and activated her skill. A light mark appeared above Lu Chen's head. He was already locked. The two swords had already locked onto Lu Chen and were chasing after him. The woman took out a longbow from her back and nocked an arrow. Powerful frost shot. Peng 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 peng. The woman's movements were smooth as flowing water. She shot a dozen arrows in a second. Each arrow was suffused with a blue light. Lu Chen was now embarrassed. He was too careless. This woman was super strong. This woman's swords were not her main weapon. That Bao was. She had actually changed her class to a long-range archer. After locating him, she crazily attacked him from afar. Stealth was useless. Lu Chen could only desperately run now. Fire arrow rain. The woman shot a dozen arrows into the sky. She accurately calculated Lu Chen's dodging route and attacked him with an area of effect. Damn, this won't work. Quick movement. Lu Chen had to dodge the Ame piercer, the ice arrows, and the fire arrow rain. It was too difficult. Even though he used quick movement, he was still hit by the arrow rain a few times. -1233, -1233, -750, burning, -750, burning. Lu Chen was hit by the ignite debuff. Every second, the user's spiritual damage *1. 5 HP lasts for 15 seconds. Damn, this woman's spiritual damage is 750. She hasn't used Tiger Roar yet. Her spiritual damage is 500. That's high. If the fire arrow came into contact with him, he would be hit by ignite. A single ignite would cause him to lose 11,250 HP. Sharpshooter. An even thicker arrow was shot at an extremely fast speed. Lu Chen did not have time to dodge and was hit by the arrow. Lu Chen spat out a mouthful of blood. 22280, double critical hit. Debuff, stun for 1.5 seconds. Sharpshooter's damage was very high. It was also very fast. It was even faster than the 3 Clarities sword formation. Lu Chen did not even have time to quick movement before he was stunned. However, there was a flaw in this skill. The stun duration was very short, only 1.5 seconds. If the woman wanted to use a killer move, she would have to link them together seamlessly. Lu Chen had reason to believe that the woman could link them together seamlessly. If that was the case, he would really be in danger. This is what you get for scaring me. Watch me kill you. The woman quickly drew her longbow. It was obvious that she was going to use a big move. In the nick of time, Lu Chen used his killer move. Kill me quickly. Only if you kill me can I leave here and find you in the real world. Chapter 201. Lu Chen clearly saw the silly girl's hand tremble a little. It was in this fraction of a second that Lu Chen finally had a chance to escape. Quick move. As soon as Lu Chen escaped, dozens of arrows bombarded him from behind. The entire area was filled with ice and fire, and a huge crater was created on the ground by the arrows. Seeing this, Lu Chen broke out in cold sweat. Fuck, luckily I ran away, or else I wouldn't have been able to hold on. Although this woman was very timid, she was really strong. Her damage output was explosive, her distance control was just right, and her skills were chained, except for the last move where she was surprised by Lu Chen, she was almost invulnerable. I feel like she's even stronger than a closed beta player. Lu Chen did not dare to stay any longer. Taking advantage of the opponent's mistake, he quickly closed the distance. Spider web entanglement. The woman had just used a skill that consumed a lot of energy, and her movements became a little sluggish. She was trapped by the spider web and could not move. You despicable person. You liar. Lu Chen laughed. Little girl, society is so realistic, learn from it. Earth-splitting chasm. The combination of spider web entanglement and earth-splitting chasm could be said to be unbreakable. The little beauty could only watch as Lu Chen's huge club came crashing down. 17424, and at the same time, she was stunned. The 75% pain was no joke. The woman spat out a mouthful of blood, and her face was pale. Lu Chen quickly rushed in front of the woman. Tiger descends the mountain. 18 hits dealt more than 50,000 damage. This woman's HP was much lower than the pugilist Lu Chen had fought before. She only had about 40,000 HP, and after receiving Lu Chen's strongest single-target damage skill, her HP bar directly disappeared, the battle ended, and blood seeped out of the woman's mouth. She looked at Lu Chen in disbelief. How can your damage be so high? Lu Chen's 2 skills could deal nearly 70,000 damage. As long as he got close, this woman would basically die. However, Lu Chen had a whole new level of respect for this woman. It was true that her close combat skills were bad, but she did have the ability to prevent her opponent from getting close to her. Speaking of which, this woman could be frightened to tears by his appearance, but she didn't have any reaction even though she was heavily injured. This was somewhat beyond Lu Chen's expectations. Lu Chen smiled. Your damage isn't low either. If you hadn't cheated, you would have been the one who lost. The girl looked at Lu Chen, unconvinced. Lu Chen nodded. Yes, you are indeed very strong. The girl frowned. This guy actually kept praising her. She felt that he was completely different from those people who liked to show off after winning. Although he was a little ugly, his strength was beyond imagination, and his personality was quite good. The girl stood up, patted the dust off her hands, and looked at the monster in front of her. It was too ugly to look at. How strange. This person looked like a wild monster, but he didn't sound like one at all. He should be a human. Perhaps it was some kind of unwritten rule. Although the girl was curious, she didn't ask too much. Don't think that I will be happy just because you praise me. Let me tell you, the next time I meet you, I will definitely not be fooled again. I will definitely win against you. Let's talk about it next time. We will meet again. Anyway, I will remember you. A white light flashed, and the girl disappeared along with the white light. When the surroundings once again became the appearance of a dilapidated altar, Lu Chen sighed slightly. That silly girl left. Somehow, he felt that it wasn't enough. Can't you give me more time to talk? Lu Chen shook his head, looked at the entrance of the dungeon, and walked in. Huaxia Server District 13, the area north of Firmament City, was a large desert. Yellow sand filled the sky, and the end couldn't be seen. Only at the end of the desert could one see a tall tower that reached the clouds. Although they didn't know how far away it was, people could still tell that it was a really tall building that reached the clouds. Looking at it from so far away, they still couldn't see the top of the tower. Compared to this tower, the Celestial Mountain Twin Towers were like toys. It was hard to imagine how such a majestic building could be built in the desert. At this time, there were a few groups of people walking in the sandstorm. After walking for an unknown distance, they finally arrived at their destination. Level 45 Transit Area, Oasis in the Sand. You guys are here. The patrolling outside the oasis were actually players. When they saw the group of people, they greeted them directly. Come with us. Not long after, the group of people followed the guards to the depths of the oasis. There was a river passing through here, and the surrounding vegetation was lush and green. It made people forget that they were in the depths of the desert. In fact, among the people who came, there were a few familiar faces. There were at least 6 or 7 people who had watched the battle between Nameless and Exquisite, including Burning Sky, Sword Saint and Exquisite Purple Heart. There were a few players resting by the lake. Burning Sky and the others quickly walked up. Boss, how's the Tong Tian Tower? Even Burning Sky Sword Saint had to call them boss. It could be seen that these people were extraordinary. A handsome man turned around and said to Burning Sky, we still can't pass it. There's a heavenly domain boss inside. It's too strong. Burning Sky nodded, that's true. It said that only heaven-defying people can manually open the second heaven domain. If we can't pass it, we can only wait for the company to open it. The few big shots looked at Purple Heart again. She seemed to be very quiet today. Exquisite, I heard that you lost to Nameless in the wild. Exquisite Purple Heart nodded with a straight face. Yes. Burning Sky hurriedly said, that guy stepped on dog shit luck and got the invisibility skill. He even has a treasure that can deal damage without breaking the invisibility skill. It's too disgusting. The handsome man's gaze suddenly turned cold. What did he drop? Exquisite said, nothing, just 2 pieces of purple equipment. I've already obtained them. But when we were betting, Nameless said it had to be a divine beast. I lost the Fire Qilin. The man's face turned gloomy. Fire Qilin, we can't lose the Fire Qilin. We recently found some clues in the God's Mystery Cave. It seems like these divine beasts can be fused. Although we haven't found the method yet, but we can't lose a single divine beast. This guy's appetite is really big. He didn't even think about whether he could eat it or not. He dares to touch our people. No matter what treasure he has, he'll have to drop it. Not just drop it, we have to at least make him quit the game. Another bearded man said fiercely, he actually dares to bully little sister Purple Heart. Purple Heart, don't be afraid. Your brother Tiger will definitely get back at him for you. Yenhu, will make him pay 100 times for all the grievances he made you suffer. The young man said, Burning Sky, before the 5 continents server union, our guilds can't merge. However, this doesn't affect us from letting some people know the true strength of our closed beta players. Invisibility isn't invincible. Archers have a certain restraining ability. Also, we'll go to the underground maze to fight for anti-invisibility skills or tools. You don't have to worry about that, the young man said. You guys set up at the entrance of the desert first. When that guy comes over, we'll take care of him. When the time comes, we'll take turns to guard his corpse until he starts to doubt his life. Chapter 202. Lu Chen had been very busy for the past few days. All kinds of home appliances had arrived one after another, and Louis had also bought the gaming cabin. After being busy for 3 or 4 days, the originally empty villa had gradually filled up, and this new home had gradually begun to feel like home. When he had nothing to do, Lu Chen would go to the ancient battlefield. After the previous few battles, Lu Chen already knew that the players summoned from the altar were very strong, and their standards were also very high. He felt that they were much harder to defeat than Exquisite Zixin. Even so, Lu Chen did not use much strength. Whether it was the tall man or the silly girl, they were both amazed by Lu Chen's attacks. His attacks and skills were also very scary in their eyes. What he needed to do was to take the battle seriously. The Huaxia server's double time was from 8 p.m. on Friday night to 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Lu Chen and his sister also hurried to set up the house during this time. After dinner, Louis could not wait to go online. Brother, I'm online now. Little Mei, Ying Jun, and the others are waiting for me to clear the dungeon. Lu Chen smiled and said, go, but don't play too late. Brother, it's double time for these 2 days. Let me play more for these 2 days. Louis pouted and said coquettishly. Lu Chen thought about it. That's right. It's rare to get double time. Okay, but rest if you're tired. Don't force yourself. People say that playing Jiutian is not tiring. Okay, I'll remember that. Lu Yi made a face and ran back to her room. After washing the dishes, Lu Chen looked around the villa. Okay, I can't believe that in just 2 short months, we're already living in our own villa. We don't have to worry about the future anymore. To be able to bring a comfortable life to his sister had always been Lu Chen's wish. Through the Jiutian game, it could be said that this wish had been fulfilled. Lu Chen could also really enjoy the game. Aya, the double time is starting. Okay, go online. The gaming cockpit was a semi-enclosed seat. The seat could be tilted up to 180 degrees, and the head was reserved for an integrated helmet. Even if one were to lie there, they wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Wow, this is the life of the rich. Comfortable. Enter the game. City of 100 Ghosts was a level 40, 10-man team dungeon. It didn't drop equipment, but it gave a lot of EXP. It had a very small chance of dropping magic treasures, but it would definitely drop pure spiritual energy. This was the favorite dungeon for players above level 40. At this time, 5 closed beta players were leading 5 players around level 30 to clear the dungeon. I've already brought you guys to fight once before. You should be very clear about the distribution of wild monsters in your team. Burning Heaven's Sword Immortal said, when the double effect starts, the 5 of you go and pull the small monsters. Pull them all over and we'll kill them. Remember, don't pull the boss. There are a total of 3 bosses. Do you know where they are? Don't worry, Master. Although our levels are low, we won't make mistakes. These people were the best of the ordinary players. They were very confident in their own skills. Yes, we'll be very clear about the map of Jyotian. Other than the ancient battlefield, which doesn't have any exploration fruits, this dungeon has the highest EXP. It's also very cost-effective. So, in 2 days, we'll bring you guys to level 35 at least. Level 35, that was a nameless level. They were only around level 25 now. It could only be said that it was different with a big account. When everyone heard this, their eyes were filled with excitement. At this time, Lu Chen was already over level 37. He also stored a lot of 7-star materials in his backpack. The double effect is about to start. This time, not only will the EXP be doubled, but the drop rate will also be doubled. Then, I should be able to gather enough materials to evolve once. 8 p.m. in the Huaxia server. Every server was packed with people. To the players, no one wanted to miss this opportunity. The major streamers were also crazily clearing dungeons with their friends. Lu Chen's personal dungeon became the people's first choice. In less than half an hour, the 100,000 challenge limit was reached, 5,700 gold coins, 190,000 yuan income. Lu Chen really earned money while lying down this time. Lu Chen himself had already started to clear the 40 million reputation dungeon. In fact, Lu Chen had already tried to clear the 40 million reputation dungeon a few days ago. The opponent's strength did not increase. They only had to endure 100% of the pain. In other words, during the battle, the pain that the player endured was the same as in real life. No matter how strong the opponent was, Lu Chen did not dare to hold back for the sake of the 100% pain system. Tiger descends the mountain. With 18 hits, Lu Chen defeated the player in front of him. How can your damage be so high? After so many days of competition, Lu Chen discovered a problem. After the competition, whenever he wanted to ask which server the other party was summoned from, the other party would be immediately teleported away. Perhaps the system did not allow Lu Chen to ask questions. Not only that, but the other party also never asked too many questions about Lu Chen's identity. Both parties seemed to have reached some kind of tacit understanding. At most, they would chat casually and not ask any key questions. Lu Chen looked at the middle-aged man in front of him and smiled. That's what the others said too. Well, I guess I'm unlucky. I hope I won't meet you again next time. A white beam of light flashed, and the big tree disappeared without a trace. After winning, Lu Chen's 40 million reputation points were won back. At the same time, he was qualified to enter the dungeon. Okay, only 1.5 hours. Let's start. Lu Chen walked towards the dungeon entrance. He looked back at the altar. That silly girl had not appeared for a long time. Sometimes, fate was so funny. When they did not want to see each other, they would see each other every day. When they really wanted to see each other again, they would never meet again. The wild monsters here were level 45. They had more than 38,000 health points and could be killed by 2 heavenly flame pillars. Killed Ancient War Soul, level 45 elite. Obtained 85,000 spiritual energy points, double harvest. Obtained 4 stage 5 talent fragments, for 5-star quality points, for pure spiritual energy points. Killed Ancient War Soul, level 45 elite. Obtained 850,000 spiritual energy points, double harvest. Obtained 4 stage 5 talent fragments, for 5-star quality points, for pure spiritual energy points. Damn, 85,000 for 1. The Ancient Battlefield's EXP is already high. After doubling the EXP is awesome. Lu Qin still needed 13 million EXP to level up. That meant he could only kill 150 monsters. He could level up in 1 dungeon. Along the way, Lu Qin cleared the small monsters. Before he reached the boss room, he had already earned 5 million EXP. The small monsters were just the tip of the iceberg. The boss reward was the highest. A huge translucent human stood in the boss room. He was 15 meters tall and was holding 2 heavy hammers. He was patrolling the room out of boredom. Ancient Governor, level 47. He held 2 halves of a giant hammer. He looked majestic and was not easy to deal with. Unfortunately, Lu Qin had invisibility and the heavenly flame pillars. This was the golden combination for cheating. The level 47 Ancient Governor's health points were as high as 6 million. If he used the heavenly flame pillars, he would need to continuously attack for 13 minutes. Fortunately, Lu Qin had enough gold coins and bought a large number of miscellaneous spirit-gathering pills. After 15 minutes, Lu Qin relied on the cheating combination to kill the boss. Killed Ancient War General, level 47 Ancient Boss. Obtained 2,760,000 spiritual energy points. Obtained 4 stage 7 talent fragments, for 7-star quality points, for pure spiritual energy points. Ding! Obtained Ancient Fragment *8, Lu Qin now needed 30 million EXP to level up. The EXP from killing a boss could increase his EXP by about 10%. Ha, I got 4 7-star materials and 8 ancient fragments in one go. Awesome! Chapter 203. Lu Qin's primordial battlefield leveled up very quickly. With the double experience, Lu Qin's leveling speed was like riding a plane. A 40 million reputation points dungeon meant that he could farm 15 million experience points in 1.5 hours. 11:20 a.m. Damn! This is really bad. I can't stop. Lu Qin had already leveled up twice. If he leveled up again, he would reach level 39. However, the timing was awkward as it was already very late. Lu Qin had asked Lu Yi to rest earlier. Now that he was faced with such tempting experience points, he could not hold himself back anymore. Oh right, didn't that girl say that she wouldn't feel tired in Jiutian? Actually, I'm not that tired. If that's the case, I'll level up and sleep. Lu Qin was already used to the strength of his opponents on the altar. On the other hand, every time he leveled up, his strength would increase more than the others. It was easier for him to defeat the gatekeepers. 1:40 a.m. I'm sleeping because I'm tired. If I'm not tired, why should I sleep? That's right. It's such a simple logic. Why should I be bothered? One more time. Just one more time. 3:30 a.m. Brother, why is there a light in your room? I woke up to pee. Oh, brother. There are still many people leveling up overnight. Why don't I do the same? Well, it's not impossible. After all, it's double experience points. Ahem. But just this once. Okay. Thank you, brother. Unknowingly, another night had passed. At 7 a.m., Lu Chen had finally crossed the level 39 experience point gap and reached level 40. From level 39 to level 40, he needed 50 million experience points. After playing for such a long time, although Lu Chen's body did not feel any discomfort, his mind could not take it anymore. I'm going to stay up all night again. What a sin. Lu Chen blamed himself for a few seconds before he fell asleep in the game cabin. This time, the Huaxia server had doubled the experience points. There were no players from other servers causing trouble. After all, the experience of the Korean server was still fresh in their minds. The Korean server had 4 fewer divine beast cubs than the other servers. It was worth mentioning that none of the servers chose the divine beast soul remnant. Instead, they all chose the divine beast whelp. This also meant that no one doubted that once a divine beast cub grew up, it would be an extremely terrifying existence. Losing 4 divine beast cubs would definitely have a huge impact on the merging of the servers in the future. Nameless had just defeated the closed beta players. Considering his violent temper, the foreign players would not dare to attack him. Furthermore, the Gorefiend invasion had also shown the strength of the normal players in the Huaxia server. Now that the levels of the normal players in the Huaxia server were slowly increasing, it was definitely not a wise choice to provoke the largest server in the world with hundreds of millions of players. Now, the foreign server players were witnessing the madness of Huaxia's players. Starting from double the amount, there were no less than 150 million players on the Huaxia server. Huaxia's players are really strong. There are actually so many of them grinding through the night. Don't they have a saying that goes, work hard? If you don't work hard twice, when will you work hard? If it were us, we would do the same. Now, many of the core players in the teams have leveled up. The highest I see is level 28. That's because they have godly players leading them. Of course, their leveling speed is fast. I think this time, with double the amount, there might be someone who can approach or even surpass Nameless level. Nameless offended the closed beta players. I don't think anyone would be willing to lead him. If that's the case, it's really possible. On Saturday, the battle for levels among Huaxia's players had reached its climax. Everyone was grinding, and a large number of players also enjoyed the benefits of double the amount of loot. They were all upgrading their equipment, which gave them further motivation to continue grinding. Especially the core players of the top teams, their levels kept increasing. At this time, the benefits of the master and apprentice system were reflected. 2 players with similar strength and level, the one with a master was already level 28, and the one without a master was only level 26 at most. This was only the result of over 10 hours. Leng Nua, Lu Yi, Ying Jun, Xiao Mei, and 10 Steps were clearing the dungeon. The 5 of them were taking potions to save time. Aya, we're out of potions. Everyone, go back to the city to restock and put the green equipment in the army's warehouse. Luckily, the leader gave us so much money before. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have enough to buy potions. Everyone, hurry up. It's a race against time. Easy Bro's team is farming faster than us. The group quickly returned to the city to restock. In TT Guild, Lin Sun was leading Li Qiuning and a few fixed teams to clear the underground mine dungeon. After killing all the mobs, they didn't even fight the boss and directly left the dungeon. Everyone, remember, leveling up is the most important thing now. Bosses are a waste of time. Understood. Brother Sun, what's that guy's level? Li Qiuning asked curiously. TT Guild didn't exclude Lin Sun from becoming a disciple. Instead, they chose to let another player level up. Was this their strategy? 29. Lin Sun whispered to Li Qiuning. Wow! He's almost 30. Lin Sun smiled. We're in luck. That kid's master is very strong. Once that kid's level is up, he can lead the others to level up. At 3 in the afternoon, Lu Chen slowly woke up. Looking at the time, Lu Chen was shocked. Damn, it's already 3. Lu Chen quickly washed up and went online. Now that he was level 40, he could already go to new maps. However, there was still more than a day before the double EXP, and he didn't want to waste time on new maps. Continue farming. Let's finish the double EXP first. Everyone was racing against time. However, the more precious they were, the faster time seemed to pass. Before they knew it, it was already midnight on Sunday. A system announcement appeared, and countless people felt a chill in their hearts. The double EXP and double drop event has ended. I wish everyone a happy gaming experience. Little Ming's live stream hadn't been very popular for the past 2 days. Players had all gone to level up, and no one was watching the live stream. However, with this announcement, the live stream's popularity finally rose. Sigh, the double EXP is gone. Little Ming had dark circles under his eyes, and he looked very tired. I've only slept for 5 hours in 2 days, and I'm finally level 30. I'm about to throw up from farming. No, I'm going to go check out the level 30 maps. I can finally go to the legendary Firmament City. Many people were already very tired, and went offline after the event ended. However, there was also a large group of people who wanted to go check out the level 30 main cities when they reached level 30. Everyone traveled together to take care of each other. Little Ming and a few people from Violent Waves followed the main group to level 30. While they were hurrying, everyone in the live stream was exchanging information. I heard that someone reached level 35. It's good to have a master. I heard that the highest level person is already level 36. That's crazy. Every level above level 30 requires 10 to 20 million EXP, I wonder what level Nameless is. If he doesn't have anyone to carry him, his level will be overtaken. Yeah, even if he's very strong, he's still just one person. He's being carried by a few closed beta gods. His leveling speed must be super fast. Little Ming, Nameless should be in Firmament City. Let's see what level he is. Little Ming and a few people from Violent Waves followed the main group to the level 30 main city. Not long after, the main group arrived at the fork in the road. Fiend's City, moon-worshipping blood pool. Damn, this blood pool can't be the blood pool in the blood pool's secret realm. There's also the guillotine and the ancient battlefield. Forget it. We can't farm anymore. Let's go to the main city and take a look. After that, I'll go offline to rest. At this moment, a person walked past from the west fork in the road. Yes, Nameless. Lu Chen was actually quite depressed. After farming the ancient battlefield, he saw many people walking towards him from afar. He changed into his human skin. Leader. Violent Waves and a few people ran towards Nameless excitedly. Lu Chen smiled at them. You guys are going to Firmament City too? Yeah, we want to go take a look. Leader, my livestream viewers want to ask what level you are now. Is it convenient for you to say? Lu Chen thought about it. Little Ming had officially signed a contract with Violent Waves and became their official streamer. Chatting with Little Ming should increase his popularity. Chatting with his own people, Lu Chen became more talkative. Sigh, I'm drunk. I didn't use the double EXP for the past 2 days well. My level didn't increase by much. Ah. Little Ming was shocked and quickly helped Lu Chen. Leader's level is high. The amount of EXP you need is not something we can imagine. Plus, you're leveling alone. It's normal for you to level up slowly. Lu Chen shook his head. He had been sleeping very well for the past 2 days. He slept for 17 hours. He had wasted almost half of the double EXP event. Sure enough, he couldn't stay up all night. Little Ming looked at the live stream and saw a group of people asking about Nameless' level. He said to his fans, everyone, don't ask. You'll know in the future anyway. Lu Chen happened to hear that and said, "It doesn't matter. I'm level 44 now." Xiao Ming almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Chapter 204. Good job. Outside of the city of 100 ghosts, Burning Sky Sword Saint said excitedly, "Everyone did well. In our group, the highest level is level 36. Basically, we made full use of our time." Another beta tester nodded, "It really wasn't easy. 48 hours without sleep was a severe test of one's energy. Fortunately, everyone persevered." Dynasty Prince clenched his fist and said to Exquisite Purple Heart, "Master, we have a lot of pent-up energy in our hearts. We must kill Nameless." "That's right." He was in the lead at the beginning, but he was one step ahead. Dragon Slayer Knight snorted, "You guys didn't go to the low-level maps, so he got all the good stuff by himself. He got all the limelight, he got all the good stuff, why?" Even Exquisite Purple Heart, who hadn't spoken much all this while, was touched. "That's right. He happened to be in the gap between you and us. He found many good things that we didn't find." Burning Sky Sword Saint nodded, "If it wasn't for stealth, how could he win? Don't worry, we'll take you guys to level up. Also, when that guy reaches level 40, we'll treat him well in the new map. Keep camping his corpse, kill him to the bottom." Although everyone was very tired, the atmosphere at the scene was very lively. Dynasty Prince and Celestial slaying Xian Yuan's divine beasts were stolen by Nameless, so they regretted not meeting him sooner. Zhan Long, Paladins, and Star Mark competed fiercely with Wild Waves, so they naturally hoped to kill Nameless. After everyone's hard work and 48 hours without rest, everyone's level had soared to level 36, even higher than Nameless last time. In addition, their masters had already revealed that when Nameless reached level 40, they would stop Nameless. This good news was icing on the cake. However, at this moment, Burning Sky Sword Saint suddenly received a voice message. "Burning Sky, our plan might have to be brought forward." "Ah. What do you mean?" "The official website has exploded. You'll know when you see it." Burning Sky Sword Saint immediately logged onto the official website. Xiao Ming's popularity had already surpassed Fengling's and was currently in first place. In the video, Xiao Ming was following behind that person, walking towards Lingxiao City. It was hard to imagine how such a boring place could have tens of millions of people. At this time, most of the players had gone offline to rest. Yet, there were still tens of millions of people. It was terrifying. Only when Fan Tian looked at the bullet screen did he finally understand. Nameless level 44. Who said that? That's impossible, right? What's impossible? Brother Nameless said it himself. We all heard it. Damn, level 35 to level 44. 2 days. Impossible. Do you know how much EXP is needed to level up from level 39 to level 40? I heard from one of my friends in the guild that his master said that he needed 50 million experience. It shouldn't have risen in 2 days, right? It should have risen a little in the first few days, but it's still too exaggerated. That's right. Those closed beta players who are guiding newbies can only level up by 1 level at most, and that's when they already have half of their EXP. Although I don't believe it either, I believe that Brother Nameless isn't the kind of person who likes to brag. Ha ha ha, a few days ago, the closed beta players were still mocking Brother Nameless for his low level. In the blink of an eye, Brother Nameless' level is already higher than theirs. Fan Tian slowly closed the official website and returned to the game. He was a little dazed. Master, what's wrong? Celestial Tu Xianyuan asked curiously. Exquisite Zixin was also a little confused. Why did Fan Tian have such an expression on his face? She felt that something big had happened. Fan Tian, what happened? What did the official website say? Fan Tian turned his head and looked at his companions, then looked at the disciples in front of him. His heart was filled with mixed feelings. After a long while, Fen Tian let out a long sigh. It's not the official website, it's Wild Waves live broadcast room. Nameless announced his level. Nameless announced his level. Exquisite Zixin snorted coldly. Looks like it's out of your expectations. But, it just so happens that I don't want to wait too long. I can't wait to stop him. Fen Tian shook his head. Hao Tian has already said that the plan needs to be brought forward. We must immediately go back and set up the defense line. Zixin, do you still not understand? What? Could it be? Could it be that he's level 40? Fen Tian shook his head powerlessly. No. If it's not, what are you afraid of? He's also a human and needs to rest. 39 to 40 requires a lot of experience. He's level 44. What? The 5 closed beta players looked at Fen Tian in shock. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Even if there's double, it's impossible. 40 to 41 requires 60 million experience, 41 to 42 requires 70 million experience. He's a level 35 to 44, how much experience would that require? How could he level up so quickly? We've only leveled up once. How could he have reached level 44? City of 100 Ghosts is already the place with the highest experience ratio below level 45. How could he level up to level 44? Fen Tian frowned. He had thought about this problem before. Unfortunately, City of 100 Ghosts is not the place with the highest experience ratio. Someone said that Nameless came from the direction of the moon-worshipping blood pool, moon-worshipping blood pool. That's even more impossible. If he was leveling up in Fiend City, there might be a triple reward dungeon. The rewards there are high, but there aren't many monsters and there's a reset time. It's impossible to level up that much. Linglong Zixin frowned. We've all been to the moon-worshipping blood pool. There's a blood pool secret realm in the blood pool, but it's useless once it's activated. There's a level 35 dungeon in the Decapitation Mountain that's hard to find, but it can't be compared to City of 100 Ghosts. The ancient battlefield. Speaking of the ancient battlefield, everyone suddenly fell silent. Ancient battlefield. Could it be? No, impossible. That was a place they had never come into contact with. This was even more unbelievable than Nameless leveling up to level 44. Other than there, where else could it be? Fen Tian sighed. His previous excitement had turned into disappointment. Especially Zixin. She wanted revenge wholeheartedly. This time, when she brought people to level up, her experience had also increased by a lot, reaching 4. However, when they were dueling in the wild, Nameless was level 35. However, in the blink of an eye, Nameless was already level 44, 1 level higher than her. The Crown Prince's face was extremely ugly. He was still quite happy and full of enthusiasm just now, but this bad news was like a blow to his head, completely knocking him into a daze. Nameless is level 44. Big Brother Fen Tian, is there a mistake? It can't be wrong. The official website has already verified it. Little Ming's live streaming room has already become the official live streaming room of Wild Waves. No matter how crazy Nameless is, he won't talk nonsense in the official live streaming room. Alright, don't think so much. Linglong, let's go back immediately and discuss with everyone about stopping Nameless. His level is high now, and his equipment hasn't been updated. We still have a chance. No matter what level he is, once we enter a level 40 map, we'll kill him until he doesn't dare to enter the game. Fen Tian narrowed his eyes slightly and said faintly, if we don't get rid of this person, there will be endless trouble in the future. Chapter 205. The next morning, Lu Chen went online early. There weren't many other players in Firmament City. They were probably exhausted from the 2 days of crazy leveling. many were still sleeping. One double, a group of people reached level 30. Lu Qin sighed. Finally, the city isn't full of NPCs anymore. Lu Qin originally wanted to go back to the city to buy spirit-gathering pills. When he leveled up, the consumption of spirit-gathering pills was too large. If it wasn't for his personal dungeon, it wouldn't have been able to support his pure spiritual energy consumption. Taking advantage of the fact that there weren't many people in the city, Lu Qin bought the spirit-gathering pills first and found a quiet place to sit down. The players have leveled up, so I can sell my equipment. Lu Qin still had a lot of level 30+ equipment in his bag. They were all dropped from the Stone Gate Instance dungeon. Among them, there were a lot of blue and green equipment. Moreover, when he leveled up, he had strengthened all of these equipment. Lu Qin first opened the trading platform. Speaking of which, Lu Qin hasn't been to the trading platform for a long time. Nowadays, the trading platform is very lively. There are millions of goods for sale. Some are for money, and some are for gold coins. The daily turnover is in the hundreds of millions. There's actually Monkey King equipment for sale. Lu Qin had already seen a lot of Monkey King equipment. The transaction speed was very fast. Now that the players had leveled up, they were in urgent need of equipment. It should be those guys who were brought by their masters to dungeon. Lu Qin looked at the price. The blue equipment's price was around 300 to 3500 yuan. The green equipment's price was around 800 to 1100 yuan. Although the Monkey King equipment's attributes were not bad, they were definitely not strategic equipment. The price was very average. Lu Qin thought for a moment. He cleared out the 244 pieces of green equipment and set the price at 1000 yuan. The important thing was the blue equipment. His blue equipment's special effects were very high. The most important thing was that they were strengthened by 3. My equipment's basic attributes are higher and its special effects are more impressive. The price will definitely be higher. Lu Qin calculated. To make a +3 blue equipment, he needed 3 pieces of the same equipment, a demon beast core, gold, and a 5-star refiner. Sell it for 15,000. Lu Qin placed the Monkey King belt, leg guards, shoulder guards, and other items on the trading platform. Let's see how many we can sell tonight. It took Lu Qin more than an hour to clean up his backpack. Although it was tedious, it was still about making money. He couldn't be careless. After getting his equipment ready, Lu Qin could finally go and level up. Just as he arrived at High Firmament City's city gates, Lu Qin suddenly stopped. Along the way, he felt that someone had been following him. Lu Qin didn't make any big movements. Those people always kept a distance from him. When they saw him stop, they pretended to do something else. Judging from their strange behavior, these people were definitely not fans. Lu Qin furrowed his brows. The only people who would dare to touch him were the beta testers. These people were most likely their informants. Why are you acting so sneakily? What are you thinking of? These people really don't have a good memory. Looks like I'll have to teach them a lesson when I have the time. After thinking for a while, Lu Qin spread his wings and flew towards the north of High Firmament City. Fuck, he flew. That guy has wings. A few people who were hiding in the dark were shocked and helpless. This time, they definitely couldn't find him. Forget it, I already saw the direction he left in. Let's tell the higher-ups that Nameless is heading north. He must be going to the new map. Let's get them ready. The level 40 map was to the north of High Firmament City. After Fen Tian and the others received the news, they immediately notified everyone to go online. Hey, fatty, stop sleeping. Come online, Nameless is coming. Wake up those who aren't online. Hurry, Nameless is coming. This time, we must kill Nameless at all costs. About 40 to 50 beta testers received the news and went online. There were 4 level 40 maps. However, To enter the level 40 map from High Firmament City, one had to pass through a small forest path. The trees here were tall and thick, and the path was narrow. It was very suitable for an ambush. According to yesterday's arrangement, everyone in your positions. Boss has been farming for a few days and has already obtained the dust of emergence. It's useless for him to be invisible. Once he appears, don't hold back. Activate the instant kill and camp his corpse indefinitely. Lu Chen was flying north of High Firmament City. Fen Tian said that when he reached level 40, the beta testers would take good care of Lu Chen. Lu Chen knew that, but he still wanted to go. Firstly, he had to go to the level 40 map. After all, he was already level 44. Now, he could only earn from the 30 million and 40 million reputation dungeons. Secondly, Lu Chen was also confident. In the past, he basically killed monsters with his eyes closed. Even if he was weak in the early stages, he could only do it by taking potions. The few times he fought, it was all torture. There was no difficulty at all. However, after fighting in the ancient battlefield for so long, his 1v1 ability had greatly improved. His various skill combinations, application, and actual combat ability had all been perfected. The high degree of pain made Lu Chen not dare to be careless in any abnormal fights. After repeated training, Lu Chen's PK ability was much stronger than before. After killing bosses in the ancient battlefield dungeon for so long, Lu Chen had obtained a lot of materials. His stars had risen to 7-star, 1 stage. His werewolf bloodline and tiger demon bloodline had also risen to stage 6. His hard and soft strength had greatly improved. Lu Chen decided to play with the beta testers who had designs on him. Fly straight ahead. Please pass by the ground. Lu Chen looked not far away. There was a small path there. Tall trees grew on both sides of the path. When he was flying in the sky, he had already determined that this was the path he had to pass. Then, this was also the best place to ambush him. From the behavior of the few unprofessional trackers in High Firmament City, they must have known that he would come and had already made preparations. Okay, you want to play? I'm sick of killing monsters. I'll play with you guys. Lu Chen was just about to land when suddenly, a small icon kept flashing in his artificial information. It was a pet icon. What's wrong? Lu Chen found a big tree and stopped to check the information. The current resources are enough for the Chaos Cub to complete its growth. Do you want to check? What? Check. This matter was more important than the battle with the beta testers. Lu Chen hurriedly said. The growth of the Chaos Cub required 100,000 pure spiritual energy and 100,000 Chaos Creature soul essences. Pure spiritual energy was not a problem. Lu Chen had not brought the army to level up for a while. They raised the little ones every day to increase their pure spiritual energy and had obtained a lot. Especially little Hun Dun. Previously, Lu Chen had brought it along to grind nightmare spirits and obtained a lot of pure spiritual energy and soul essences of chaotic creatures. Later, its level was too high and the nightmare spirits did not drop anything, so he did not continue to grind. Lu Chen planned to grow little chaos first. It already had enough pure spiritual energy and had accumulated more than 80,000 chaos creature soul essences. It was almost enough. Lu Chen glanced at the personal dungeon. At this time, he had accumulated 57,000 soul essences. The soul essences accumulated in the personal dungeon were enough to synthesize the remaining materials. Damn, I've waited for more than a month. This is great. Back to the territory. Chapter 206. On the ground, a group of people hiding in the dark were paying full attention to John Doe. As soon as he landed, they would attack him together. However, that guy actually stood on a tree and returned to the city. Why did he suddenly leave? Did he notice us? Exquisite Zishin was surprised. It's impossible. Didn't we test it with our flying mounts? We can't see anything from above. He seemed to be looking at something on the tree. Damn, he's lucky. He got away this time. Everyone, don't let your guard down. I don't believe that he won't be in a level 40 map. Lu Chen returned to the territory and immediately opened the dungeon option. In the soul essence storage, there was a synthesis function. 3 non-elemental soul essences could be synthesized into a soul essence of a specific attribute. Lu Chen calculated the soul essences of chaos. He still needed 19,000. The soul essences stored in the dungeon were just right. Synthesize chaos-type soul essences. On the synthesis panel, 3 white luminous bodies combined into a golden luminous body. Taking out the chaos-type soul essences, Lu Chen distributed all of them to chaos. Character, Chaos Cub, level 10, has reached the upper limit of the cub stage. Unable to obtain spiritual energy, growth, 100,000/100,000, pure spiritual energy, 100,000/100,000, chaos-type soul essence, physical strength, strength, 100, agility, 100, physique, 50, attack, 250, defense, 100, health points, 1,500, talent. Sealed, grow. A golden light rose from the bottom of the little guy's feet. A moment later, the little guy's body was more than twice as big as before. If Chaos was a little kitten before, then this guy was about to become a bulldog after growing up. Ow ow. The little guy's voice was still a little childish, but it was slightly fiercer than before. Lu Chen patted little Hun Dun's head happily. Ha ha ha, are you happy? You're the first one to grow up. But you can't bully the other little guys. You have to protect them, do you hear me? Woo woo. The little guy rubbed its head against Lu Chen's hand as if it understood Lu Chen's words. It felt more human than before. Yes, good girl. Lu Chen reopened the attributes of Little Chaos. Character, Chaos, Stage, Juvenile, Level, 10/30, Growth, 0/300000, Pure Spirit, 0/300000, Chaos-type Creatures Soul Essence, 0 out of 100, Purple Demon Beast's Core, 0 out of 100, Primordial Heart, 0 out of 100, Primordial Fragment, Physical Strength, Strength, 400, Agility, 400, Constitution, 200, Attack, 750, Defense, 300, HP, 6,500, Talent, Divine Beast Bloodline, Split Attack. When attacking in melee, deals 100% split damage to all units within range. This effect can be given to a specific unit. Talent, Seal. Similarly at level 10, after Little Primal Chaos grew up, the 3 dimensions would increase by 300%. Attack plus 500, Defense plus 200, HP plus 5,000. However, such abnormal attributes were not the main point. The most terrifying thing was that the little guy had unlocked his first Divine Beast Bloodline talent. 100% split attack. Not only would it have this effect permanently, but it could also be given to a specific unit. It could be given to Lu Chen himself. Damn, this is only the second stage of childhood. Lu Chen was completely shocked. Little Chaos attributes were too abnormal. This was only the state of level 10. Divine beasts can give their talents to specific units. The more Lu Chen thought about it, the more excited he was. He had 11 divine beasts. If that was the case, he would be invincible. In the past, Lu Chen took more than a month to evolve Little Chaos. But now, he had 2 spiritual sources and a personal dungeon. The time needed to evolve other divine beasts could be greatly reduced. The next level of Little Chaos requires too much. I can't get it for the time being. I'll evolve other divine beasts first. Little guy, give me a split attack. Let me see how long it lasts. Little Chaos roared at Lu Chen fiercely, and a buff appeared on Lu Chen's body. 100% damage split attack, lasting for 24 hours. Damn, do you have to be so unreasonable? Lu Chen took a deep breath. The duration of this buff was too long. Lu Chen was now just over level 44, but Lu Chen really wanted to see what the attributes of this little guy would be after level 30. Experience is going to be gained anyway. Let's level up this little guy first. Although the initial experience requirement was very low, from level 10 to level 30, Lu Chen spent a total of 49.7 million experience. He directly dropped from level 44 to level 4, with only 30 million experience left. Regardless, Lu Chen's sacrifice in exchange for Little Chaos body emitting a golden light again and again, instantly increasing by 20 levels. Check the attributes. Level 30/level 30, reached the current level limit, physical strength, 6,400, agility, 6,400, physique, 3,200, attack, 10750, defense, 2,300, health points, 70,000, what the hell? Lu Chen was in a bad mood. Little Chaos was now in the second stage of childhood, and this guy's 3D attributes were already higher than his. There are still points. My equipment only has a little more than 6,000 attack, but you have more than 10,000, and your health points are directly 70,000. Help, you're only level 30. Without any equipment, the little Hun Dun was indeed a baby divine beast. Without a doubt, with Little Chaos' current strength, it could even clear the dungeon alone. Seeing that Little Chaos had become stronger, Lu Chen also let out a long sigh of relief. After being busy for more than a month, those materials were a huge expense for the current Lu Chen, not to mention the previous Lu Chen. At that time, when he saw the evolution conditions of divine beasts, he felt that it was an astronomical figure. But Little Chaos did not disappoint him. The little guy finally evolved successfully, from a child to a teenager, and completed the first qualitative change in the growth process. Lu Chen had a feeling of relief. Not only was he relieved of a burden, but he also saw hope. He still had 10 divine beasts waiting to be fed. Very good, looks like I can bring you to level up in the future. Then, it's time to give you an official name. Well, seeing that you're so dumb, I'll call you Lionhead. Ow ow. Little Chaos did not like this name, it was not domineering at all. But Lu Chen did not plan to change the name at all. Hee hee, it's settled then. Lu Chen squatted down and patted Lionhead's head. Good boy, stay at home and train well. I'll go find a few friends to chat with first, and then I'll bring you out to play. Ow ow. What? You want to go too? No, the person I'm going to fight today is a little strong. You don't have spiritual defense, it's still a little dangerous if you go. Don't worry, after fighting for so long, I'm confident. And don't forget, I have a new divine skill now. Standing up, Lu Chen smiled slightly. I hope there are more of you. That way, it'll be more fun to use split. After saying that, Lu Chen spread his wings and flew into the sky. It was time to find someone to drink tea. Chapter 207. Lu Chen returned to his territory very quickly, but it took him a long time to run over. Including the time it took to get the divine beast, it took him more than an hour. This caused the group of nervous snipers to go crazy from waiting. Damn, it's been an hour. Where did that guy go? It's been almost 2 hours. In the woods, a group of people were in various comfortable poses, leaning against the trees, lying on the grass, looking quite comfortable. Is he still coming today? I took care of my disciple 2 days ago, and now I'm so tired. Did he find out about us, and then he doesn't dare to come? Fen Tian Sword Deity was also very depressed. Nameless just showed his face and then disappeared without a trace. In the two main cities, no one found him in any of the major maps. Everyone, wait a little longer, this matter concerns the face of us closed beta players. If we don't teach him a lesson, how are we going to survive in the future? Yes, Fentian is right, we have to make an example out of him, even if we have to wait for a day, we have to wait until Nameless appears. Prince, you're in charge of the live broadcast, Nameless has appeared, start the live broadcast immediately, the outside has been arranged, the popularity will instantly increase to the top 10, then the players will come in. Prince of Royal was a little depressed, he was a big boss, but he was reduced to a position where he could only do live broadcasts, it was completely inconsistent with his identity. However, when he thought of the live broadcast, countless people would see Nameless' miserable state, he suddenly did not care about being a laborer. As long as he could kill Nameless, it was worth it no matter how hard it was. Not long after, Lu Chen had arrived at the forest path, he wanted to go directly, but at this time, he received a system notification. Detected the presence of developing dust in the area ahead. Due to the fact that this item cannot be avoided during its design, other than its own ability, it has an additional ability. It will nullify the effect of your skin, this notification will only appear once. Normal players wouldn't be able to receive this message, and Lu Chen wouldn't have received this warning either. However, it was because the system realized the imperfections of the dust of developing that it had an ability that it should not have, that the system specially reminded him. Damn, dust of developing. Judging from the name, it should be anti-stealth, it makes the target's confusion effect ineffective. No, since they dared to ambush me, they must have thought of a way to deal with my invisibility. So, the real effect of the dust of appearance should be to make invisible units unable to hide. Lu Chen smiled. He didn't expect to gain something by wearing a skin. Alright, since I can't use my skin, I'll have to use my true body to kill you. Lu Chen found a secluded place and was about to take off his human skin when he suddenly thought, no, they can't see Nameless. They probably won't attack together. After pondering for a while, Lu Chen thought of a solution. Clone. Beside Nameless, another Nameless appeared. Doppelganger was just a skill. There was no such thing as skin or not skin. The dust of appearance should allow the doppelganger to show its original form. Since you already have a doppelganger, why don't we confuse them? Xiao Min, temporarily possess my doppelganger and make him invisible. Boss, don't you know that the dust of revealing sight can break invisibility? Then what's the use of invisibility? Xiao Min asked, puzzled. This is called beating them at their own game. They don't know that I already know. Since I have a doppelganger, I have to make good use of it. Oh, okay. Xiao Min possessed his doppelganger. Xiao Min, when I call you later, come back to me. Okay, boss. Okay, this should be enough. After he was ready, Lu Chen took off his human skin. The skin split open from his back. A terrifying creature was trying its best to crawl out of the human skin. Damn, I really can't let anyone else see this. I feel disgusted. After taking off his human skin, Lu Chen stretched his huge body and felt much more comfortable. Looking at the road ahead and looking at his doppelganger beside him, Lu Chen smiled. Let's go. With that, he stepped into the forest path. I'll take a nap first. Wake me up when Nameless comes. A tired beta player closed his eyes slightly and was about to take a nap. Suddenly, someone whispered, look, Nameless is coming. In the distance, a figure was stepping into the forest path step by step. This person was wearing gold equipment, a red cloak, and holding a wishful long staff. Who else could it be other than Nameless? He's coming. Prince, turn on the live broadcast and inform the people outside to increase the popularity. Everyone else, get ready. It's best if you can kill him instantly. On the official live broadcast platform, an unknown live broadcast suddenly jumped to the top 10 popularity of the official website at an extremely fast speed. With the opportunity to show his face on the homepage, the popularity of the live broadcast instantly soared. Many players were shocked and they saw the title of the live broadcast. Beta Guru, Unlimited Kill Nameless, Until I Quit the Game. Because of this title, a large number of players rushed into the live broadcast room. The room's popularity instantly exceeded 15 million and increased at an extremely fast speed. Damn, the one in front is Nameless? He's really trying to stop Nameless. Fuck, I almost missed a good show. Nameless doesn't seem to know. He's still moving forward. It's over. Nameless is really going to die this time. At the same time, Nameless had entered the attack range of the ambush circle. A mass of purple light separated from Nameless and quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. The boss had already asked Xiao Min to leave quickly. The battle was about to begin. At this time, Nameless had already walked into the depths of the path. Suddenly, 40 to 50 people appeared from behind a huge tree trunk. Nameless, your time has come. How dare you provoke us beta players? Your account is gone. Nameless, go to hell. A group of people fiercely rushed toward Nameless. Nameless' expression did not change at all. Even in the face of more than 40 masters attacking at the same time, he was expressionless. Don't let him escape. Archers, locate him. Beginner tracking. Rakshasa beheading sword. Precise shooting. Dance of spring and autumn. These people suddenly appeared and rushed toward Nameless. They started with all kinds of killer moves, aiming straight for Nameless. Fuck, are these people crazy? Nameless doesn't even have time to react. I've never heard of these skills. They're all killer moves. They don't plan to give Nameless any time to react. Once Nameless dies, they'll spawn camp indefinitely. These Nameless are finished. Nameless was hit by a sea of attacks. His health bar was like a roller coaster, disappearing in an instant. However, a familiar scene appeared. Nameless turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. Everyone surrounded him curiously. After careful inspection, they could only confirm that what they had just killed was a clone. It's a clone in the end. That's impossible. He was indeed invisible just now. Nameless knew that we would ambush him, so he turned on invisibility. That's understandable. But he gave invisibility to his clone. He's using this method to let us confirm that the clone is the real body. Damn it, why is this Nameless so cunning? Exquisite Purple Heart gritted her teeth in anger. This Nameless had fooled everyone again this time. No matter what, now that they could confirm that what they had just killed was Nameless clone, the question was, where was Nameless real body? On a certain tree, a terrifying creature opened its ghastly mouth, revealing its canine teeth. Were they all standing together for a meeting? Very good. Rapid movement. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.